What's going on? How's it going, guys? Good morning. Oh my goodness, Ken Fabio's already here. Good morning, man. Pedro Machado. Oh, hey ho. Just here for a quick stop and listening to my man Andrew before I go back to work. That means a lot to me. Hey, that's just nice. You guys are just a nice community. If we haven't had a pleasure meeting yet, my name is Andrew. That's Professor Meatball. Somebody's already joining the membership. Jack Lentz, welcome to the club. That's because he pressed the join button next to the subscribe button, which all of you have already pressed, right? All of you have already pressed that button. Okay, well, I'm just checking. Everyone, we have pretty big news with AMC and GME. AMC was up 10% on market, pre-market today, and at all the way up to $9.19. GME was up to $100.11. Sorry, $111.99. All the way at the beginning of open market. Now has dropped down steadily at $105 reduce. That's green across the board. If you guys look at every single stock I have on the watch list, every one of them is up, including hopefully you got some Bitcoin before the Bitcoin recovered, because it looks pretty good. People said that Trey shouted me out. I'm interested. I had contacted Trey on Instagram. Did he respond? People are saying, yo, good morning. Oh, baby, here we go, says Emerson Lemus. Donovan Longnecker, good morning. Catherine Lee, good morning. The Mighty Red, good morning. Ted Paniza, good morning. Callie Deza, oh my goodness. FFM69, best streamer. Pierce ES, yo, Andrew M, what's up, bro? Francis NYC, and we back. Andrew P52, Caligula says, I'm late to the bell. That's true, I'm 2 minutes late. Apologies. James Rudy, good morning. Daniel Johnson, good morning. Deborah, good morning. Earl Queen, good morning. Emerson Lemus, good morning again. Hollow Candy, Jens 1988, good morning. Deus Payne, So Mao, Linda Hoon, Harry Lewington, Eric Wheeler, Game Glass, Jillian Marchioli, Nick Jazwinski, Derek Bradshaw, Anthony Bell, Mike Mars, From the Ground Up, Vin Nguyen Abelardo, Michael, Jonathan, Ian, Sam, Scooter McDuder, Natsu Akemi, Tunke, Sean Salinas, Kilobyte, Chris Toliento, Momita Roy, Bon Toll, Offensive Self-Defense. I wish I could keep going, but you guys are already dropping super chats. Thank you, Emerson. He says, Andrew, hope you and Meeple had an amazing night's rest for today's war. We did. I couldn't stop waking up in the middle of the night. I woke up at like 1, and then I woke up at like 3, and then I woke up at 4, 5, and then finally I was like 6. Okay, it's time to go do my live stream. Fell asleep for 10 more minutes because for some reason just kept winking in and out of sleep, because GameStop is already up nearly 8% as the bell open. That's exciting. This is some exciting news. We probably have important DD to discuss. If you guys followed us over the weekend, because you guys are busy beavers, we talked to the pretty cool guy, Josh. Pretty normal man, Josh. And he is also known as Hey It's Pixel. He did his first, second, third only interviews that he's going to do before he goes home to his dog. And that's pretty nice. Now we have some CNBC news. Let's see. We got some news here. We got some. Boy, GameStop pop big time again. Cool. We got some news here. We go get some DD as well to see if we can bring you guys up to speed. Right now, we're just waiting for a couple more people to show up. But it means a lot that you guys are already here, so I'm just preparing. Market open, always really interesting, important. Let's see. Hunter X Ninja's warning. Monday until GME, so thank you. Literally has never looked forward to a Monday until GME. That's interesting. That's actually exciting. Hoping GME moons so they can pay for their mom's funeral. Jeez Louise. Okay, so there's nothing actually that big for, there's actually nothing that big in terms of DD this on our GME. So let me see if there's anything big on Wall Street Bets. This is just from Pixel. He uploaded his DD on on WallStreetBets. FINRA report, GME fees. Yeah, none of this is actually new research. So I'm gonna have to do some of my own looking. Let's see. So thank you for the super Emerson Lemus. Congrats on 21,000 subs. I appreciate it. That means a lot. We did it, boys. We made it to the moon. This channel has been growing like a meme stunk. Let's see. So we got some important stuff to cover. Thank you guys for tuning in the mornings, because we have a sea of green to wade through right now. Everything is up somewhere between 1 to in terms of SOS, 36%. But let's look at the Bitcoin. We are up 4%. Cannabis sector. Let's see. We have Sundial up 3%. Tilray up 4%. Afria up 4%. Honestly, if you invested in the pre-market, you'll be pretty happy right now with this sea of green. It's hard to say that this is actual sustainable trend, but this is exactly what we are looking at. So we got GameStop and AMC shares active again, pre-market. Hold on, let me check this out. Yes. Reddit CEO, WallStreetBets exposed a gap between financial insiders and outsiders. Reddit traders by AMC. So this is what I do in the morning. I try to get up to date with as many articles as I can, just in case people are looking in the CNBC. This is just the same thing. Okay, so I have some looky-looing to do. AMC was up all the way to $9.19 pre-market. Now it seems to be hovering at $8.68. That's pretty exciting, because that means it is 8% up. GME is not far behind. Even though it did make it past 10% up to $111 earlier this morning. Moon Week, are we doing it? Lord Weird is in the house. He's coming on. Derek Broadshot says, Andrew makes me feel noticed. That's what we're here to do. We're here to make everybody noticed. Oh, man. American Gadfly talking about Trey shouting me out. I have not yet seen it, because I wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning. So if he already shouted me out, I do appreciate it. I haven't talked to him personally yet, but he seems like a cool guy. Want to talk to him. If you guys know Matt Kors, we are talking about doing a live stream. Nothing set in stone yet, but we are talking, the two of us. So I'm excited for some of that to happen. So go ahead and show Matt some love. He is a cool guy as well. Okay, Sage Vicente, what tricks do hedge funds have to fight with us today? You think it'll go high and fall again? Likely. We never seem to be able to burst out of two levels of resistance and support. And if you guys are been following the channel, that's just technical lines of support and resistance that have shown where the stock has gone in the past. And the reason why history repeats itself when it comes to these lines of historical resistance and support is because sometimes the same exact people are trading the stock, and the stock is only worth so much fluctuation when it comes to a regular non-volatile market. So that's why when a level of resistance becomes a future level of support, we like the stock even more. Max says, hey Andrew, what's going on? Chris, is AMC dead? AMC is trending higher than GME right now. So it could just be that it's accruing value based on what people think it's worth. Because there is Impavide says, I should do a collab with Uncle Bruce. That would be very cool. Or if you guys know Bruce Wayne, I'm already done the Wayne gang. Now let's do the other Bruce. We had Copuff says, yeah, he checked you out. That's how I found you. That's cool. I want to see that video that he checked me out on. Trey said he is going to watch your Josh interview. He subbed to you about 15 minutes ago. Wow. I really should have been here. Sorry, guys. I'll wake up 10 minutes earlier from now on. Let's see. Yeah, I guess Trey's not live streaming anymore. We got Bruce live. No, Trey is live streaming right now. Trey's live streaming.
Expire the third Friday of every month.
Excuse me. Looking at Trey. looks like he got a nice clean haircut. Very cool. Awesome guy. So what we are looking at here is AMC up 9%. And it is, let's see if it's going to have some trouble breaking the next level of support. So the next level of resistance is actually going to be a couple of days out. So it tried to break through $11.89. Could not do it the last couple of days. That was the high of these past few days. So let's say that the actual level of resistance is when these prices met 3 times. So it's more at $11.22. So let's get it there. Oh, draw a horizontal line, please. There we go. If you guys are curious about what technical app I'm using, I am using WeBull, and it is very, very trendy, and once you get into it, pretty intuitive as well. So that is actually the next line of resistance historically, because AMC has been struggle busing with the $9 price. Now, if pre-market is anything to be believed, we actually do have $9.19, looking like a bit of a resistance point. Let me just draw it out. This is not as strong of a resistance, but we do want to be able to note that this is where AMC needs to go now. Okay, so for GameStop, things haven't really changed. So the next level of resistance is $140. As you can see, that is where it got stuck back on Friday as well, and where it got stuck on the, what is that? The 25th, the 26th, and it is trying to push past 140. Has done it a couple times. Let's see if GameStop can make it past 140 today. Zion Visionary says, Wise Meatball, good morning. Oh, we already have, is that 100 or 1,000 likes? Either way, we're going to give Meatball a treat. Here we go, buddy. Also, I owe Meatball 2 treats for Emerson Lemus's super chats. That's 1. That's 2. And that's 3, baby. So it seems like Trey is currently reading Hey It's Pixels DD that we had the actual author on this weekend. Very cool. We have important stuff to cover. You might be concerned or at the very least suspicious that all of the market right now seems to be green across the board. It seems like that is already being adjusted. GameStop was up almost 10% at market open, and now it is only floundering around plus 2%. Still green, so that's still green, but it is currently having trouble making up for the quick flash of energy that it had in the beginning of the market. Adrian Paulin, good morning, Andrew. Hey, Andrew, can you roll an insight check on GME for today's performance? Oh, man, you guys are speaking my language. GME is going to be at the scrutiny of everyone, and even though Josh himself was able to speak on now that his DD is out, how are people going to play the meta game of, hey, now we can just move the goalpost, right? We know exactly when these apes are expecting the squeeze. We can just move it further down the line. And he said that was going to be hard won, if impossible. I am still suspicious. It's because of the fact that we are putting all of our expectations on this date. It's kind of like the congressional hearing. A lot of people were putting their expectations on the date itself, right? The congressional hearing, Deep Effing Valley, Roaring Kitty was supposed to show up. They were supposed to, make a grandiose speech and roar the crowds and be able to drive the price up. Now that we have so much certainty, there is going to be inflation of expectation. And just like every relationship, right? Expectation is the killer of joy. Let's do a couple of live chat readings. Good morning, Andrew and Meatball, says Damian Clark. let's see. People still say they want to see a collab between me and Uncle Bruce. If you guys know Uncle Bruce or talk to him on Instagram, I would love to have that happen. Ted Syriux, good morning, Andrew. Trey's trade threw you a sub and also gave you a big shout out. That's very cool of him. Let's see. Micah Bone just left Trey Trades. He was giving you shout outs, calling you a G and subbed. Very cool. Let's see. People talking about Trey. Mauricio says, you're very well spoken, my man. I appreciate that so much. People talk about Trey. Uncle Bruce has a theory of what's happening right now with GME options. Okay. First month, first YOLO. You are the two most cheerful in the stock pack. Yeah, oh my, I like that. That's a good brand. Most cheerful stock pickers in the stock pack. Ron Toll, previously seen an inverse of SPY and GME. When one would go up, the other would go down. Currently, they are both going up. Interesting. This is interesting. This is quite interesting. Usually, and in the DD as well, they talked about how SPY has a good amount of deadlines coming up for the 19th. So maybe there is going to be something to do with SPY, which is the S&P 500, and GameStop. Right now, GameStop is struggling at that $100 support level. It is starting to be the only red in the sea of green. This is just on the micro level, so I wouldn't be too concerned, but this is the kind of shenanigan that we are expecting to be able to fight through. Momito Roy says, keep a water bowl nearby for Meatball. He needs to hydrate as well. Yeah, that's why I'm going to get this big old chunky water stein, and then we're going to be able to hydrate both of us together. Please insight check for ADV as well. ADV I haven't really looked at. So on this channel we do ticker suggestions as well. Let's just look real quick. ADV currently on a on a multi-day sell, trading sideways, and now it seems starting off on the 22nd has been in a sell-off. Was supported by the $9.50, rejected by $9.59, sold off again. As of right now, pretty bearish in terms of its momentum in the micro sense, but the exponential 200-day moving average is also decreasing. This is pretty bearish of a stock right now. I don't know anything about this stock, but in terms of its momentum, I would say it likely is not a strong buy. Depending on what you know about it, though, of course. If you have some information about it, might be interesting to play with what you have. Like people say. Dapper Dan says, here because Trey's trade gave you a shout out. I do appreciate that. Let's see. Elarak says, I've sent you a picture of a dog and cat laying together. Oh, that's right. So over the weekend, I opened up a lot of your Instagram messages. Still haven't opened up all of them, but for now, we're going to try and step through them one at a time. Starting with probably one of the earliest ones. You guys sent this to me, like, what is this, Friday? Oh, so this is a three-legged cat from Justin Mays. Let's look at Justin's cat. So cute. Honestly, probably the best cat. Let's keep it up here. It's going to grace us with its luck. Justin Mays, three-legged cat with a cute little bottle cap on top of his head. Very nice. Okay. A lot of people are here from Trades. What's up? How's it happening? Thank you guys for joining me. We are talking about GameStop's continuous journey, but we also want to see the entire market is green right now. It is green with a small margin, but this is equal to the economic downturn or the market correction or the pullback, whatever you want to call it, back on Wednesday. So we are here to read a couple of your comments, look at a couple of your dogs. If you do have a dog, and all animals are dogs, go ahead and send them over to me on Instagram at Andrew Mo Money. Chronic Hayes says, firm handshakes. Gorilla Gang, how's it going, guys? We got Derek Bradshaw. Andrew, are these price drops from GME normal market volatility or the market really against us? Remember yesterday when Pixel showed up, we asked him about different ways that the hedge funds could manipulate GameStop, and we even asked about short ladder attacks, and he mentioned that those do not exist according to him. And we have read DD that also state that short ladder attacks do not work because in order to attack, you also have to in order to attack the stock, moving stocks back and forth, you also have to put it back in its place. He also mentioned on that video a couple of other reasons why he thinks it doesn't exist, and was very well spoken about that as well. If you did, I am thinking about clipping up that video into a couple of digestible pieces so that you guys can get that Q&A in a little bit more of a I have a question about this in terms of GameStop, and see what he has to say. Hey, how's it going? Came from Trey's. What's up, guys? Thanks for coming over. We have a lot to talk about. We have cats and dogs to show off from the family of the Meatball Army, and that's the cutest part about this community, is that we're going to give each dog a chance to show off. Kyle Gino says, done with Trey's AMC talk, now to you for GME. Yes, Trey does seem to focus a little bit more on AMC. Do seem to focus a little bit more about GME, but it's live and love. We don't have a particular niche that we need to double down on. I am going to look at Swaggy Stonks. It is a sentiment analysis tracker. You guys may have seen it before. It just tracks exactly what is popular right now on WallStreetBets, and with a high margin, it is GameStop. Now, the amount of red that you see is the amount of negative sentiment, and the amount of green that you see is the amount of positive sentiment, but overall volume is indicated by the size of the bar. Thank you for the super, Ash. Love the stream, love the stock. Couple of goofy greyhounds in your DMs. Cheers for keeping it real and sharing all aspects of the current market. Let's look at your goofy greyhound soon. I promised, like, here's a treat for Meatball for the super. I promised like almost 20 to no, I don't know, I said 20. I promised almost like 40 of you that I would show off your dogs. So it's every dog is going to have its time in the sun. So looking at GME, this can show us the price in relationship to the amount of sentiment on WallStreetBets. And we see it's been holding pretty consistently after it popped off again starting on the 23rd. It essentially has been flat at $100 ever since. Of course, this does keep the weekend, right? So this is why the price is exactly the same over the weekend. With the amount of sentiment there is, people are really turning their eyes back to GME, which is, once again, perception is king. This is important to be able to know. Now, in terms of AMC, we can also take a note here. It also did make a significant rise on the same day, rallied alongside GME. Seems like they are brothers in arms. And when it got up to this price, the amount of sentiment, of course, is far less than GME. However, it does still continue to rise despite the fact that GME seems to get more publicity. If you guys wanted to use this tool yourself, it's called swaggystocks.com, and it allows you to see exactly what is the correlation, not causation, of the amount of sentiment with the amount of price movement. Okay, so that is that. Let me go ahead and welcome those of you, 1,600 of you. Good morning. I had a hard time sleeping last night because I just wanted to wake up, look at the stonk. And now that I'm looking at it, boy, oh boy, green across the board, very suspicious. Do not take it as a given that today we're going to have no problems at all. But we do want to be able to be here, answer questions, think a little bit about Josh's analysis yesterday, and continue considering all of the possibilities that the hedge funds have and all the possibilities that we have to rally together. So we're looking at this dog from Justin Mays. Thank you for the dog. We love to see it. Let's look at another dog. I'm gonna go back to the dogs from long ago. This is from Thursday. So this dog is Mystic from Andrea Mihalik. This is Mystic the dog. We're going to look at Mystic for a while. Mystic is going to grace our chat. and give us good luck for the GameStop and AMC mojo. Thank you for the super essential hard worker. I just came from Trey's. Just curious about your of your opinion how AMC is going to play out. They have 800 shares at $8.77. What do you think today's price play out and over the next 3 weeks? Squeeze, thank you. Let's give first of all a treat for Meatball. Thank you for the super. And then second of all, one of the first things that I want to note about AMC is that it has a completely different short interest profile than GME. And that was one of the most bullish reasons that I was onto these two stocks to begin with. So FINRA report has updated last week. It still showed roughly the same proportions. Well, it was cut in half because cut by 20% by GME, but it actually increased by 1% for AMC. So this essentially means that even though it is above 10% short interest, AMC has a much smaller amount of shorts that have been yet to be covered. Now that said, AMC does have positive news and perception in the markets right now. It does have the ability to have its theaters open in just one more week. And when the theaters do open, AMC will have the option to make it big if people do show up en masse and fill up that 25% capacity. And then you have to make sure that no one gets sick and they don't get slapped with either a fine, a restriction, or a complete close down again. And if you can think your ape brain past every hoop that AMC needs to jump through in order to make it seem like they have a good shot at being a highly valued company above $8, then we can start talking about gamma squeezes, call options, and the short squeeze. However, in that way, GameStop does have more evidence that a short squeeze is probable in the shorter future. For example, March 19th. Hugo, thank you for the super. Take a look at RKT. Is something happening today? I would love to. If you guys are just joining us, my name is Andrew. I'm a data scientist here in Silicon Valley. That doesn't mean anything. It just means that that's my occupation. I'm just an ape just like you. An ape is looking for a banana. We are looking at these stonks and trying to predict their movements and making sure that you guys have a good eye for the kinds of momentum-based trading as well as technical analysis that we are known for on this channel. Right now, RKT is some sort of rocket company, maybe? Yeah, mortgage engine, something, pandemic-induced surge in home buying. Okay, so this is more about home buying, but this company seems to be up 10% today. RSI has not reached 70 quite yet, so in the micro view, it's not overbought. A 200-day EMA has just crossed a 15-day moving average. It seems like this stock is popping off. It had a breakout point at about $20, rose from 20 to 23. That's just a rise of 15% in the last few days. So that's not a huge rise. It's been trading sideways for a good long time, and now it seems to be running away. This is probably akin to the comeback stocks like the travel stocks and the airline stocks that people now get to buy homes or do mortgages or whatever it is. I would say be careful trying to catch runaway stocks that haven't really shown their worth yet, and it's just because the market itself is really hungry to try and pitch these comeback stocks, these market reopen stocks. Now that the pandemic is over, they really want to be able to pin these stocks that flourished before the pandemic as early winners when the pandemic restrictions start easing, but they haven't started easing yet. So you're putting the cart before the horse. Meatball is like, obviously. Aki says, I saw some analysts of someone dropping 2.5 million call on GME, price target 250 and ending 5th day. So maybe hedge funds betting on someone, YOLO $2.4 million. Thoughts? We have noted with Hey It's Pixel that there are market movements that may seem like there are unknown institutions fighting against these hedge funds, similarly sized institutions that at one point the hedge funds couldn't even fight against the amount of money that they were up against. So as of right now, that is not out of the question. Chad Nelson says, FYI, get out of Robinhood ASAP. They may go bankrupt. And if they do lose, you lose 100% of your money. Who cares? You lose a week of trading better than losing all of your money. I can't say whether or not that's 100% true because I'm just reading a comment. But I do want to say that Robinhood is not on your side. Robinhood is a faker, but they're a big phony. The most important part about Robinhood is that when the CEO had a chance to explain himself on the big screens, he had a very hard time answering basic yes or no questions and basic questions about whether or not he cares about Robinhood stakeholders or you, the customer. It definitely seems like he cares more about the stakeholders than you. And why would you want to be the product when you can actually be an actual customer? Let's see. Are you surprised by the consolidation of GME right now? Very smooth sailing and it's past 10 a.m. Good sign. I do see that GME seems to be, it didn't dip below $100 again, as expected. This isn't a huge sign of whether or not GME is in a good place or a bad place, because originally I was hoping that GME would have made some pretty big moves already. So this general volatility up and then down doesn't really say a ton about how long GameStop is going to continue trading sideways. Ashroom, thank you for the super. Here in Australia, a lot of folks are putting cash into travel and tourism stocks, expected to boom in the coming months. Do you see the same in the USA? I did do an analysis of this early on last week, and I'm going to post it right after this live stream about what I think about the airline industry and other boom stocks that are making a comeback. Okay, let's see. Thank you. People are saying sanguine. Chad Nelson, I agree. They may go bankrupt, but retail investors are insured. Yes, that's what I was going to mention. Let's see. Smash the like button, guys. Says Air Nano Mask. Yeah, I appreciate that. Steve McNally, what about towards the end of the month when all gains and loss reports are due? Would it be a better move to jump heavy move towards middle or end of the month? This sounds like you're requesting financial advice. Unfortunately, I cannot say how or when you should jump on board. All we can do is look at the stock right here. If you guys did hear one man's opinion, the squeeze date is currently set. We keep moving the goalpost, but it seems like I was able to point this out 2 weeks ago. XRT has to show off its dividends on every 3 months, and March 19th is the day. That's also a quadruple witching day. That's also the day that a ton of contracts expire, and finally, that's the day that right before GameStop posts a bunch of earnings. So as of right now, that is the day we have set for this squeeze. The squeezening. Lady Pink trades. I subscribed to you during their live streams and gave you props. Thank you. I need to watch that because I just started live streaming, so I can't watch another live stream on my live stream. Or can I? Maybe I will, actually. Maybe I will go to Trey's live stream in just a second and check it out. Hemeloco says, sent you my Shiba on Instagram. It's her birthday at Fran. Well, I have to check out your Shiba on her birthday. Thank you for sending me super. Let's see. Fran. When did you send your Shub? Fran. It's your Shub's birthday? Oh my goodness. Well, Fran, is your dog's Fran or are you Fran? Either way, this birthday dog is now going to grace the live stream with us. Let's do it. Chris Amaro says, holler at me for solid dividend payers. Hashtag millenary millennials. Millenary. Oh, let's see. Gio Franco holding 40 shares of AMC right now. Adrian says, hey, Andrew, could you cover LGVN? Sure. I am taking ticker requests as we keep one eye peeled at GameStop. LGVN. Oh, we're going to go back to GameStop in just a second. Oh, what we have here is seemingly, let me see if I can find a breakout point. Okay. So supported by $7.07. supported. It seems like it's being supported by that $7 pretty hard. I see multiple points of when this stock was supported by $7. The next level of support is at $6 and change, $6.20, $6 and change. Okay, so let's talk about risk reward, because that's one of the easiest analyses to do. Right now, there are two levels of support, somewhere around $7 and somewhere around $6 and change, probably $6.20 or $6 flat. It is currently at $8.98. If there is any time that it's been higher, oh, very new stock. Okay, so there is no way to tell. Okay, so it was at $10 when it IPO'd, I guess, or whatever reason why the stock has no more information before that. It seems like the reward currently is that it goes back up to $10. The risk is that it drops to one level of support to $7, or two levels of support down to $6. And I think in terms of risk reward, that isn't fantastic. So that's why you do want to be careful. It's edging on that 70 RSI line, which means it's starting to become overbought. So let's go back to GameStop. Okay, 1,900 of you. Let's get going. Jonathan Baldwin, it's Professor Meatball, and Human Andrew. What's up, guys? What up, apes? I love that. Human Andrew, Professor Meatball. We got Fran, the Shiba birthday boy or birthday girl. Let's see. Tariq Paril Impossible says, I'd be careful to put money on the comeback stock, as we don't know the effect of the new virus mutations and how resistant they are when the vaccine is currently being administered, not financial advice. That is really great insight. Of course, none of this channel's content is meant to be financial advice, and nor am I a financial advisor. And yes, WeBull analyst page on GME now says hold. Yes, a lot of different recommendations for GME are now hold. So this is a good sign. I like that sign. Let's see. Have I ever seen a sugar glider? Not in real life, but I love how they look. They're very cute. Let's see. Deshaun Redfield, is the squeeze date for March 19th confirmed due to the fact that we're posted on Reddit? That's what we posted on Reddit. Well, there are 7 to 8 different reasons why the squeeze date is on the 19th. If you guys are curious about that, I have 2-3 dedicated videos, and including interviews with the author of that post. And I think I'm the only YouTuber that has able to talk to him before he is going on a permanent, or at the very least, unknown for how long, hiatus off the internet. That's Josh. His name is Hey It's Pixel, and if you want to check out that interview, that's the last few videos that I did on this channel. Ken Fabio, yo, welcome to membership. Welcome to the Meatball Army. That's because Ken went ahead and pressed the join button next to the subscribe button. That's huge, right? It means that he's supporting the channel in a little way, just throwing $4 a month over on my and Meatball's direction, buys him a treat, and it means something more than just subscribing. Although hitting that subscribe button and clicking that bell button to make sure you don't miss out is an investment in yourself. And I think a lot of you have already done that over this weekend. We hit 20,000 subscribers over the weekend. That's 10,000 subscribers just in 1 week. So if you guys want to join the Meatball Army before we take off to the moon, it is time to invest. It is time to invest in the subscribe button. This video is brought to you by that subscribe button. Kyrie PT says, good morning, apes. Thank you for the live stream. First time viewer, new to the world of finances. Welcome. This is exactly what this channel is here for, helping new time viewers just like yourself learn a little bit about the world of finances. And I'm so glad you decided to spend part of your morning with us, or if you're in Europe or Asia or another part of the world, so glad you're deciding to spend whatever time of day with us. Okay, let's see. First month, first YOLO. Can all his information posted on Reddit and Stock Twits and here on YouTube be used against us, like the other team getting the playbook? Yeah, we've been talking about that for a good while. Even Josh, the author of the Endgame DD, mentioned that he answered that question, and he thinks no. it's too late to be able to reverse time and mitigate all of the evidence supporting the March 19th squeeze. However, I at the beginning of this live stream said that I am still skeptical that giving the other side the playbook is not going to harm us in some way. It's kind of like why we shouldn't be the vainglorious villains like monologuing while the other side starts to plan a counterattack. Stone Monkey, my fiance saw all the doggos, so I sent you a pic of our husky Cleo on Instagram for her. Toss our princess up on the screen when you can, please. Sure thing. Oh, Stone Monkey. Hopefully you're called Stone Monkey on Instagram too. That was the birthday dog, Fran. Very cute. Let's go through a speed doggo for the people who have already sent me doggo pictures. We got Georgie and Maya. Georgie and Maya from Steph Man Fam. Georgie wearing his hipster trading shades. Very cute. That's Georgie and Maya right there. Give him a chance to soak in the sun. Good morning, all. This is Larry Ball. Sanguine says, new guy community headlines. Wow. Number 1, hold stocks. Number 2, hold P. Make sure to hold your P. We are not peeing until the stock blows up. We got Bear and Kitty. So those are the dogs of Elarax. Bear is, I'm assuming, the dog, and Kitty is, I'm assuming, the cat, but they are both dogs to me. Sam, thank you so much for the super. Trade sent me here Gorilla Gain Army. Thank you guys for showing up. It's time to join the Meatball Army. It's time to throw your hat in the ring, because it is never a better time to start learning about financial investments. I'm a data scientist. Doesn't mean anything. Just means that I am a smooth brain ape who wants a banana just as badly as you guys do. So we are here to learn. We are here to grow together. And if that is the beautiful part of this community, I think that one other part of it is that you get to see Meatball yawn in the back, give him treats, smash that like button so that more apes see this video just like you, and we get to see collaborations in the future. If Trey does want to do a collab, I am super down for that. Okay. Let's see. Lady Pink says Trey went to Mo Money's channel, subscribed, said he can't wait to watch the Endgame interview, and said Mo Money is smart. I appreciate that. First Yellow says, I don't actually know because I had you streaming while I'm working, but did you ever show my ferret? He acts like a golden retriever puppy, so she's a very special dog. I do like to show ferrets. I think I showed one ferret, but I will go back and make sure that your ferret has their time in the sun too. Let's see. What is the best window to move from Robinhood to another brokerage app? It really might be right now. If you think the March 19th squeeze date is going to be supported by all of the evidence that Mr. Hey It's Pixel put out over the weekend, a week's worth of delay will drop you right at March 8th, 10 days before the squeeze should be in full force. So, not financial advice, but if you do want to switch off of Robinhood, go into WeBull. I have that link down in the description below. In fact, I'm going to go and pull it up for you guys so I can pin it as well. Currently, the pinned comment is for you to to put your money into crypto. I put in $10,000 into BlockFi over the weekend, and it's time for you to start considering transferring all of your precious livelihoods into crypto, because it is the future. So that there's still time before the squeeze. Okay, there you go. Let's pin that. Jackson Kessler, what's good, man? Jackson's another financial YouTuber. Go and check him out. Meatball Maniac. Yeah, there you go. Momita Roy, thank you so much for joining as a member. I appreciate that. That's because Momita went down into the description and pressed the join button. It's right next to the subscribe button. It not only means that you want to follow each live stream, it not only means that you want to follow continuing on your investment journey, but it means you want to support the channel and get cool flares, including, I want this to catch on, all the members, you can try to use the boys. to get an emoji of me and Meatball, you can look at DFV. You can also take a look at Tendies. You can also take a look at Moneyball, which is Meatball wearing his cool sunglasses. And then you can also look at Pog, because I don't know, I just like Pog a lot. Okay. Oh yeah, let's look at some new doggos. New doggos. That was Bear and Kitty from Elarax. And now we're looking at Foysbad. Foysbad's dog looks like this. Oh, it's just a little cutie. So Foysbad, there's your dog right there. Ooter time, 19th is when calls line up. Calls are added every second. The more calls, the bigger the pig trap that lasts indefinitely. Stop thinking of a date. Just opinion lulz. Yeah, this is important, right? It was just one man's opinion to try and motivate us to be able to get the squeeze happening earlier. And if anything, now that he's put the deadline up in 3 weeks, it kind of gives us motivation to work as hard as we can to hold out for 3 more weeks. Not financial advice, but that I think is the core psychic, the psychic. What am I trying to say? It's the mental part of the picture, right? Momita says, "Hi, I became a member. Please give Meatball a treat and a head scratch for me." Yes, Meatball. Here's a head scratch, and here's a treat. There you go, buddy. And speaking of which, you guys did say to keep a water jug handy. I'm going to get some water real quick. I'll be right back. Meatball gets the only the best filtered water. This is the biggest stein that I have, and that's because I'm going to hodl my pee. For the good of GameStop. Let me get some water for Meatball too. That's a lot of water. I regret pouring that much at once. Here you go, Meatball. And now for your entertainment, Meatball drinking some water. No, you're good? Okay. Never mind. We're going to go back to the stocks. All right, so those of you who are just joining us, hey, good morning. Welcome. We are talking about GameStop live action movements this morning at market open. It was peaked at $100, $111.99. It then went down to a low 20% drop of $99.97. Now it's just been fluctuating between the life and death, but mostly between $100 and $100 and like change, $108, let's say. Okay, so we got some conversation in the chat. Adrix says, "Would you like to see Albert once more?" We did have Albert, the ET dog, the sundial dog, help us win GameStop on Friday. So we do love Albert. Ren Sin says, "Do you think this time brokers will allow it to continue and let people buy when it gets to a high price ranges of the squeeze? Remember what they did before?" We talked about this with Josh, actually. So now I'm starting to think I really need to break up the questions that were asked of Josh, because he gave really definitive, nice answers. His answer was that the brokers can do whatever they want, right? Because it's all about the clearinghouses. The clearinghouses request so much money because it takes 2 days to actually settle your stock whenever you buy the stock, T-2 or T-1, whatever the actual like mumbo jumbo is. As of right now, the clearinghouses have all the power to turn off our brokers once again. And the brokers acquiesce by doing a bad thing, such as restricting buying but not selling. We're going to be in a pretty similar situation as before. Let's see. I think all those Doge pictures is hidden financial advice to buy Doge. Ooh, no. Oh, man. Pedro says, no financial advice, but what would be a good price to buy the dip? Unfortunately, I can't even say that much because one, you can imagine that people watch this channel to make sure they get the most objective financial education out there. So if I say this is the price to buy, it could hurt the credibility of the channel a ton. And the risk reward for me as a financial YouTuber is just not there. However, I am going to keep you up to date and make sure that you understand what there is to consider when you're making moves on the stock market. And people are talking about being able to capitalize on renewed interest in Reddit-driven stocks. It does seem like a green day for the market. All of the talk about the stock market bubble might have been for naught, or maybe this is just a red herring. Let's not spam the chat. My moderator is currently away. Try not to say the same message more than once or twice. I appreciate that. Okay. Jamie Lau says, why does everyone say this is not financial advice? It's because the risk of saying any kind of financial advice is only absorbed by being a financial advisor. And so therefore, we have to make that claim very, very clear. Okay, let's see. Hi, Andrew. What do you think about $800 put for March 19th? There are 1,001 contracts. If March 19th is the day that GameStop squeezes, which is predicted by Josh, hey, it's Pixel, the author of the Endgame DD, it will be one of the reasons because of the gamma squeeze potential. It also will be, it's a quadruple witching day, so the volume is going to be humongous. We are also going to expect that it is trying to dissect it all. XRT needs to post dividends on that day, and that is the ETF that is holding the most shorts of GME at the moment. And then finally, we are considering GME having its earnings report in the next couple of days, 4 days after the 19th, and that is going to be a huge secondary booster for the squeeze potential. Eric Schulter says, love your streams, dude. Have a good day. I appreciate that. I'll see you in the next one, man. Terabad Gamer, surely because it dropped drastically, this means it's on the SSR list tomorrow. And do you think this could be the same UI causing the big drop, the almost immediate rise? Yes, we did cover in the Endgame DD that a couple of days before GameStop rose dramatically, it seemed like it rose dramatically, dropped dramatically, and then came back to the same level. Well, whichever way, for whatever reason that was happened, it became on the restricted SSR list, and that allowed the stock to pan out in a couple of different ways in the days following it. And so, important to note, this unknown institution that seemed to be able to move enough volume so that a GameStop could be dropped on that list could be back at it again. Mika says, did you read the DD criticizing Hey It's Pixel's DD? I actually need to, because last time I was reading through it and then Pixel just showed up on my live stream. So that's why I had a hard time actually being able to not answer it. So let's look at this. What is this? This is the stock price of DD. Let's see. Josh is talking to me. See, this is proof. Okay, so this is the thoughts on Hey It's Pixel's upcoming final DD and a proposal not to post it. This is the DD criticizing his DD and his response to it. So I think this is going to be pretty interesting. I haven't yet talked about this on the channel all the way through, so let's give it a fair shake. Lottery Stock says, hey Andrew, your vids are dope. Maybe we could collaborate sometimes. It'd be sick if you checked out my channel. I'm only 18, learning as much as I can in the stock market, but your mind is older. Let's go talk, man. Let's make it happen. Matthew Johnson, you got a pretty nice shout out from Trade Trades this morning, my friend. Keep it up. Let's go. If you guys are here from the Gorilla Gang, it's time to subscribe. It's time to smash that sub button. It does mean a lot to me. It means that you're investing in yourself. It means that I'm going to continue pumping out content just as good as Trey's, because we are going to be doing co-live streams together in the future. We're going to be like talking in the future, just chatting. It's a great YouTube community, and I'm glad you guys are here. All right, so some thoughts on Hayes Pixel's upcoming final DD. He is going to copy the whole post here and going to try and answer every single question, adding their own thoughts, or his own thoughts, because we know it's Josh. Claim, I've seen excitement for Josh's post regarding their final DD, which seeks to predict the squeeze with 99.9% certainty. That already feels a little bit bullying, because I don't think he ever said 99.9% certainty. This post is an urgent call to its author and those looking forward to its content to reconsider. They are prepared to receive heat for this, but what they see is alarming and cannot sit and watch as communities risks being burned. Okay. Kevin says, from Trey subs to the meatballs. Let's go. Give Meatball that sub. Meatball sub. That's pretty. Hey, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Who said that? Kevin Godwin. I'm going to give you credit. If I do make a cartoon with a meatball sub in it, that would be because of Kevin Godwin. Let's see. The author is drawing too much attention. So this is from the post trying to knock the original poster, Josh. Today, the author posted not one but two posts that did not present any information, but only served to build up to a post scheduled for the following day. Answer from Josh. That is correct. Josh posted these two posts while being absolutely overhyped by the communities reacting to his DD, and because he is so certain that he found the date for the squeeze to take place. They were unnecessary in hindsight, and they were not a benefit to anyone. His feelings overwhelmed him there. Apologize for those posts and will remove them after publishing this response. Okay. So it seems like that's pretty grounded, pretty mature. Claim. Josh has received acclaim given his previous posts on explaining events, albeit after the fact, and is now in the spotlight. It is foolish to use this popularity in such an unwieldy fashion to the author. It is their hope that they recognize their status as a general here. The people are willing to follow you to expand on the above quote. This is very dangerous because even though he is in Germany, there is a lot of risk being associated with the head of a movement, as we've seen from Deep Effing Value. He is getting sued in like some sort of class action lawsuit by a couple of people because he did DD, because he was doing research and put out his own holdings on the stock. People are now going to sue him because they lost money in the market. Very, very scary, which is why it's very dangerous right now to be a financial person on the internet that is trying to do their own research and trying to tell the news about GameStop or other meme stocks. They find it worrisome that the author has dubbed themselves the GME Nostradamus in light of their recent commentary. According to the author, the more volatile the stock becomes, the harder it is for them to analyze and make more predictions. Well, there's a difference between prediction and explanation. Lady Pink and Wallace already getting we already getting some supporters of Josh in the comments. Answer: generally speaking, he's right. They didn't dub themselves the GME Nostradamus. As of today, they've received hundreds of messages and comments of people calling him by that name because his first DD he released on the 25th, quoting himself. P.S. He does not see himself as Nostradamus. He received more than 120 DMs. 55 of those messages included people calling him a time traveler or the Nostradamus of GME. He likes it. He adopted a name that was given by the community. He found it funny and thought nothing of it. Regarding his own quote in his claim, the more volatile the stock becomes, the harder it is for him to analyze and make more predictions. He said, in the context of the people asking me to make another prediction, he always added a disclaimer that his predictions are based on his thoughts, should not be followed or blindly accepted, and can be faulty, unlike the DD is post, where he backs up everything he says. Okay, so, claim. Hindsight is 20/20. The author in this post begins, first of all, he made a prediction in the post yesterday. The prediction would have become reality if the hedgies didn't overshort the fake shares. Why did he tell you this? Because he literally received death threats and insults when the market ended. This was a little bit sus when we read it to begin with. This is fair objectively. This would have happened if not for something else. Is a pretty it's a disappointing thing to hear. And if anything, if I can be critical of anything at this point, Josh, I wouldn't have put out a hard $200 figure for day end when the market actually closed at $108 that day, I think. The criticizer says their suggestion to the audience is to be critical of this commentary. The prediction would have become reality if only X didn't happen is an unprovable claim. To the author, they are receiving threats and insults because things don't according to plan. Then it has less to do with the brashness of others and more to do with the boldness of the author's claims. And bold they are, for in their posts they provide updates that hype their viewers, their views when they align with results, and updates that downplay when they do not. In another post, they quote, why was their prediction off? Well, Josh thought that 10 hedgies were about to give up, but no. These efforts just shorted over 33 million more shares. They are really in some deep shisa just to survive some more weeks. The author's track record is imperfect, so to see a claim that the next shall be 99.9% accurate leaves much room for doubt. Fair enough. Let's see what people are thinking in the live chat right now. Hey guys, welcome. We have GameStop in the corner. We're looking at some critical DD about Josh's, I guess, Josh's everything, right? About his reliability, about his predictions, and about his research done. We want to be able to take everything with a grain of salt, so it's important to be able to learn as much as possible. But a lot of people are supporting Josh. Lady Pink says Josh really is just excited and wanted to share his findings. Pedro says Josh was very insightful. He gave his educated hypothesis like a scientist did. Again, hypothesis, what he is stressing. That is correct. We did see Josh be very respectful, very articulate. Eli Groff says something not about Josh. Sorry, I'll get back to you, Eli, in a second. Lady says, we here in the States really do need to protect freedom of speech and the individual investor when it comes to the stock market. We should be able to share our thoughts and collaborate without being sued. Ken Fabio says, Andrew will need to drink 5 shots of espresso or Red Bull to keep up with Trey. Seriously, that man has unstoppable energy. I'm starting to wake up, though. I'm starting to feel it. Let's see. Barry Jam says the guy suing DFE got caught with his pants down for naked call selling, which is actually a bear move on GME. So he sues DFE for losing money for not following DFE. You messed me up. If I followed you, I would have won. Let's see. The Wallace Frey, Josh really seems like a great guy, but I was super surprised to find he's only 21. That's true. Scooter McDuder says, am I misunderstanding, or is this guy victim blaming Josh for the death threats? Ooh, that is fair. That is a fair assessment. We got another super from Ash Shroom. Thank you. Is it too much to expect market maker to buy those calls today? Likely. There's nothing expiring today. Well, actually, there's calls expiring every day, but there's nothing humongous that we're waiting for. Meatball, you don't want any water? You want some water? He doesn't want water. He wants treats. Well, I poured too much water, and he only has 1 bowl. So currently, I'm gonna have to give him his treats in bulk later. Answer. Here, the author of the post mixes up everything and leaves out half of the things that Josh said, creating a bad image of his persona. He says people are sending him death threats because of a prediction that he made to be expected when his claims are so bold. This is highly disturbing. Josh received death threats because of a prediction people pressured me to give. Quoting my post here, edit 9, because lots of people are asking me for a prediction here. Here is what I think is going to happen. There are a lot of options, blah, 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 blah. He made a $200 to $220 with a sudden spike in price and volume. This is just his thought, no financial advice. This is just bolding what he originally posted. On another post, he said that this regarding his predictions. Worst thing is it wasn't even DD. People kept asking for a prediction, so he just kept giving his thoughts, even had a disclaimer that it isn't a prediction based solely on thoughts, no DD behind it. So you're saying that Josh deserves death threats and insults because of a prediction that people wanted Josh to give, and Josh even saying that there is no DD behind that, just Josh's thoughts? Not only that, you're saying that was a bold claim, deeply disgusted by that. Ripped apart by Josh. In the next paragraph, he again quotes, leaves out half Josh's statement to make Josh look bad. What Josh said was, final edit, why was my prediction off today? Josh thought that hedgies were about to give up, but no. Blah, 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 blah. Why could no one foresee this? Hedgies shorted 33 million to 51 million non-existent counterfeit shares that day. That is highly illegal and not predictable by any means. So please stop quoting only half of what he says just to fit your narrative. Okay, pretty well defended in my opinion. Let's see. Pedro says, Andrew, I saw your last video 3 hours ago and was so hyped up that I'm watching your live video now. That's the attitude that we like. We want to get hyped right now. Young Money says Trey is real life Super Saiyan. That is true. Lord Weird noticed a lot of people on Reddit yesterday thinking it's a red flag that Josh went radio silent. Had to remind them that he posted less than 24 hours ago. At the same time, was on a 2-hour live stream since. Yeah, I don't think it's weird at all. Josh just wants some time to relax. This is the same attitude that people had when Deep Effing Valley went silent too. It's like, oh, he betrayed us. Just because he's quiet, there are millions of you. There's only one of him, right? Let's relax. P.S. Andrew message on Insta. I'm mostly AFK until I finish work. Sorry, bro. No problem. The chat's been behaving, right? You guys been behaving? Yeah, I agree. Does this mean that we can sue the fortune cookie companies now? Yes. Why do they keep telling us that luck is in my future? What's going on here? Okay, let's see. 21 and married. Josh is a grown man, guys. Yeah, he's not a boy. He is a man. Josh man. Let's say that you create a newsletter pushing stock tips to a mailing list of 10,000 members. The criticizer is claiming here. The trick is for the first tip, you give a bullish tip to half and the opposite bearish tip to the other half. You'll be right either way. In the next week, of the 5,000 names that have reason to believe you, you send half to another bullish tip and the other half the opposite advice. You will end up with a group that now sees you've made the right twice in a row. You do this week after week until you have a few dozen who deem you their prescient god. This is when you can cash in for fame or their money for big plays. All you had to do is play with luck on your side, and luck did the legwork. What is this? I'm so confused. Is this specifically for something? Like, is this even referencing something that has happened in real life? This does sound like a cool mind puzzle, though. Those of you who are just joining, we're reading the criticism for Josh. Hey, it's Pixels DD for that happened last 2 days ago, basically, and he even came on the show live. If you guys want to see that, that's on the channel right now. Even if the author's predictions are 100% true, and they weren't, given the updates and excuses for why the predictions didn't pan out, for argument's sake, the sample size is still small. Which begs the question, why is the upcoming DD the last one? To maintain the small sample size. This could either end up being a failed prediction or an accurate one, but in either case, the author walks away. The only concern that it leaves is a lot of people burned. The author, on the other hand, exits either praised as a prophet or forgotten as another snake oil salesman. Wow, that's a strong, strong claim. Here's Josh. This is going to be his last prediction because he also has a private life. He has a wife. He is getting a dog. He works 12 hours a day next to posting here. And simply, he works 12 hours a day and does his research? Wow. The final DD was supposed to be his goodbye and thank you to the community. He needs to catch up on a lot of stuff at work. He needs to do more stuff with his wife. He's preparing for his dog that he's getting in 3 weeks. As we know, his dog's name is Akihiro. It is going to be a Shiba Inu. It's going to be so cute, and I can't wait to see pictures of it. Nothing to do with sample sizes or the snake oil salesman. I have no idea what this first paragraph is talking about. It's kind of like if I was like, say that there are 14 people on a trolley track, and then there's one person that's pulling the trolley track. If half of them get the same stock tip and the other half don't, and then the other half gets another stock tip and the other half don't, doesn't that mean that Josh is a psychopath? Like, what kind of crazy hypothetical is this? Anyway, claim, I'm sure the author would agree because in the post they made 11 days ago, they quote, Shills and bots switched up their tactics, spreading unrealistic goals to be reached within the next few days in order to get people to sell when it doesn't happen this week. Okay, now we're starting to actually quote Josh just from 2 weeks ago. A supposed 99.9% prediction is frankly an unrealistic goal. What makes us so sure that hedge funds won't turn that specified date against us? If they push the game even 1 day past that prediction, a lot of faith will falter. That is unacceptable for this play, and the author will do well to practice their own observation. This is really important. And once again, I said this in the beginning of the live stream, it's the only thing that I would fault Josh for is that he gave us an exact date, just like how he gave us an exact number for closing the day before, right? I know that people are asking you, but ideally you don't like tell everyone because then it hypes up everyone's expectations. Even if you say, even if you're protected, and I know you're going to be protected, we all love you here, it is going to burn a ton of people, because ultimately I'm going to be the person that's saying March 19th until March 19th, and then it might even burn me, because people will forget, hey, why was Andrew saying March 19th this whole time? So that's why ideally we don't put out the exact date, but now that it's out, it's impossible to put back in, right? And Simple Jack is saying, guys, do your own DD. Don't rely on others to do it for you. You're literally trusting strangers with your money. Good point. Everyone, let us be nice. Don't spam in the chat. Bo Powell says, my last question, I love you. Don't hate me. In my opinion, what's more valuable, LV2 market data or lower options fees? Data is king, like I always say. I think it might be data. In my opinion, data is probably more important. Eli Groff says, hey, can you answer my question about the options? AMC options have or have not been exercised yet. When does it need? When it does, we should see a spike from 8 to 10 or 6 to 15. Is this true or not? What is 6 to 15? Because it hasn't been 6 in a while. 8 to 10 is very likely. If the options do get exercised, we could see a small gamma squeeze up to 10. But again, that's making me have to do predictions, and I don't want to. So I'm just going to say that options exist, and if people have the money to exercise them, they will. And if that happens, the price will go up. Okay? That is the math behind it. Let's see. Hayden says, did you look in the newswoman's eyes from MSM Bloomberg? I think she said, oh, GME set to hit 800 today. It belted down. They know just how much it will hurt, so pulling out all the stops. The fact that they are doing these shows is just how deep they are in. I have not looked at that show, but it sounds interesting. First month, first YOLO, the fork in the trolley track where they kill people on right or left, and one side is 2 people you love and 5 is never met, is another moral philosophy puzzle. Thanks for noticing that. Okay, so it usually is. I already apologize for the 99.9% call, says Josh, but the data they found and the actions that have been happening for the last few days supported a specific date. You quote a post from 11 days ago, this game changes every single day. 11 days ago, I didn't even post DD for everyone simply because I had no time. I guess that's fair, but it's basically an excuse. Unfortunately, I have to be pretty strong about this. I wouldn't have supported Josh putting out an actual date, even though it's sensationalist for like YouTube views, it's sensationalist for Reddit views. It might be a very well supported case. At the end of the day, it does 2 things that fight against us. One, it gives the enemy the playbook. It gives the hedgies institutions exactly information that we know what's going on, or at the very least we think we know what's going on. And the second part of it is that it gives everyone else in the market an unfair expectation. An expectation is the thief of joy. If you've ever been in a marriage. But seriously, if you are married and you have rock bottom expectations, you're probably going to be pretty happy. But if you are married and you expect it to be a fairy tale, you're going to be pretty darn upset. And that is the problem right now. Everyone right now is feeling pretty comfortable with GME because someone just said that it's going to happen on this date. So why do I have to do anything? I could even paper hand. It doesn't matter. Taha giving out the 20. Congrats on 20,000 subs. They grow too fast. Tear comes out. Thank you, Taha, for supporting me since the beginning. Now the last claim. This is getting ridiculous. Too long didn't read. The prediction posts, both of them made today, are self-serving and counter to proper strategy. This is criticism for Josh's post. The predictor does not have a perfect track record to begin with. Let me put GME back down in the corner. Anyone can get lucky with a small sample size. They propose an approach that still recognizes the work put into data, one that retains the upside for the author if they are correct, and one that minimizes losses for the readers if they are incorrect. Answer. The author obviously didn't like me, or the too long didn't read, half quoting me and indirectly mixing up their predictions about DD in order to make it look like I don't know what I'm talking about. The prediction posts, both of them today, are self-serving and counter to proper strategy. They were stupid, yes. The predictor does not have a perfect track record to begin with. Mixing up DD with predictions people wanted me to give, I can't support this claim. Anyone can get lucky with a small sample size. I didn't get lucky. He did his research. Again, mixing up DD with predictions people wanted to give. He proposed an approach that can still recognize the work put into data, one that retains the upside for the author if they are correct, and one that minimizes losses for readers if they are incorrect. They made another post including a poll. People can decide for themselves. Final statement, Josh says he is by no means perfect and admitted to saying some stupid stuff, but this post is blatantly targeting his entire persona with bad research and half-quoted sentences that change up the whole context of what he said. He is always open to talking and people sharing their opinions, but please do it correct. Oof, burned. Ooh, roughed up. So once again, I think the only thing that I agree with is this. I wouldn't have tried and made it a real prediction, but everything else seems like it doesn't hold very much water. Let's go back and look at the charts. 2,300 of you, what's going on? Those of you from Trades, Gorilla Gain, welcome to the party. If you want to be part of the Meatball Army, the subscribe button is waiting for you right there. Go ahead and smash it. It's a fun time. We talk about stonks. We talk about stuff that's not just AMC and GME, although that is getting crazy big energy right now, and rightfully so. The world is changing. History is changing, and we just had the real Pixel on the show, and that's exciting. So that is the real Josh. Hey, it's Pixel, the one that was quoted to have made multiple different pieces of evidence that points to the March 19th date for the squeeze. So therefore, we do have to give him deference for that. Thank him for sharing his research and understand that none of this is financial advice. Welcome to the show. Let's keep talking about GameStop. Right now, we see a daily high of $111.99. This happened like basically a minute after market open, and then a couple more minutes after market open, we saw a daily low of $99.97. So we are pretty much stuck between this $20 range, between $110 and $100. Sorry, that's a $10 range, $111 and $100. And that is the story for GME today. Cannot seem to get double-digit movement in either direction volatility-wise. AMC, however, did see upwards of 10% up on the day, and we are still seeing a strong 7.5% up over the $8 figure that it closed at and market close last week. Potatoes are life. Welcome back with another super. Market makers need to hedge about 26 million shares as of February 26th. He'll make an update post and after market close today. If you guys remember, Potatoes are life was someone who made an entire spreadsheet. He is also doing incredible research, or she, because everyone can love potatoes. So Potatoes are life. If you did want to cover your research in more detail, I'm happy to be able to open up your spreadsheet and cover it in just a second. I do want you to walk me through it because I don't like looking at a spreadsheet and being like, oh, what's this part? What's the other part? Matthew Schoeneck says, thank you for the super. I was the ape that shouted you out on trades this morning. Hey, what's up? About this weekend's Hey, It's Pixel collaboration. He is interested. About this weekend's Hey, It's Pixel chat, he is interested in a collaboration. Well, in that case, I've already messaged him on Instagram, so the ball's in his court. Let's see if he's responded to my message on Instagram. Trey Collins 001. Let's see. He has not responded. Well, get this man to respond to me. This is Trey Collins 001. I said last Tuesday, hey, I'm just a fellow YouTuber live streamer. Just wanted to say hi. And he hasn't said hi back yet. So if he does want to do collab, tell him that the offer still stands. Let's get it going. Trey Collins 001, come on. Okay, so BTC going nuts. BTC, oh, he scared me. It's still hovering around 49,000. So if you guys did get in at 43,000, congrats. I should have. But all I did was put my money slowly into my BlockFi wallet that earns 8.6% interest. just for me holding some crypto. I think that's a pretty good deal. If you did want your BlockFi account, I have a referral link in the description. Up to however much money you put into your account in the first 30 days, you get up to $250 free Bitcoin. And look at Bitcoin go. I think it's a great time to get into Bitcoin right now because institutions believe in it. And once again, perception is everything. Now let's look at some dogs. Let's see. So let's look at Pedro's dog. I finally found Bacchus be my friend. Let's look at Bacchus, the dog here. I love dogs that aren't normally shaped like regular dogs. Love that looking dog. BTC going nuts. Let's go. Crypto is having a day in the sun right now. Let's go back to GME. Still pretty non-moving. Mike Smith, try not to. I like the not a dead cat, but try not to spam the chat. Let's see. Theo says he has 1,000 requests. It's pretty hard to see the DM, I'm sure. He can also email me at dataleaptech@gmail.com. Let's see. If any of you know Trey's email, go ahead and message it to me on Insta, and then I will just send him an email. Okay. DFV, Andrew, Josh, all commanders of this army. Nope. I'm just a smooth-brained ape. I'm just I like a banana, and we're just here to talk, guys. It's just a talking show. Michael Rose says, I'm still holding my P from last week. Is it working? No, it's not working. It's still the same price. Come on, Michael, hold your P harder. Let's see. Mellow Tunes. How can he be 21 and working as a lawyer? He's from Germany as well, and he knows how long it takes to graduate from university to become a lawyer. Doesn't add up, really. I just assumed that people can become lawyers at 21. He did say there's 2 different kinds of lawyers, so he's the other kind of lawyer. Hayden says, Andrew, everyone tweet Elon Musk to buy big volume of GME to help push it. We already had someone that sounds like Elon Musk, Josh, on the show, so let's get another Josh on the show. Let's try to make this happen. Dan Cusick says, turn up your volume for your earbud wearing working apes. My volume is already so high. Is this better? Hopefully that's better. Jose, hopefully this isn't too loud. Let's see. When is the Stonk Symposium with Andrew, Trey, Kevin, Max, and Josh moderated by Uncle Bruce? Oh my God. This is a great idea. I'm going to take a screenshot of that, and hold on. I'm going to try and see if we can tweet this out. Trying to capture it in the wild. Hold on. There we go. Okay, and now I'm going to tweet it out. Those of you who are just joining, 2,400 of you, good morning. We spend the mornings together. We try and chill. We try and relax. We try and have a good time talking about stonks. GameStop right now is trading sideways, 103. Not even that volatile, honestly. Currently, it's just being a negative Nancy, in my opinion. Let's see if I can. My Twitter. I'm not very active on Twitter. Someone message me? Oh, yes. Matt Kors and I are texting. See, I also messaged Trey on Twitter as well because I am persistent. So let's see what's happening. I'm going to attach the photograph of that comment by D__G. Screenshots. This screenshot. Oh, man. This is ugly. When is the stock symposium with Andrew, Trey, Kevin, Max, and Josh, moderated by Uncle Bruce? In fact, actually, this is pretty hard to read. So I'm not very good at Twitter, as you guys might have noticed. So I'm gonna have to try and make this like longer. I think. I'll make this longer, and then I attach it. The new one. There we go. So when is the Stonk Symposium with Andrew, Trey, Kevin, Max, and Josh, moderated by Uncle Bruce? When, guys? So let's get Andrew. Actually, that's me, so I don't need to tag myself. Trey, Kevin. Which Kevin are we doing? Kevin. Actually, which Kevin are we talking about? Let's do Max. Which Max are we talking about too? We're talking about Max. Hold on. How do I tag these people? Max. I talked to Max on Instagram. He messaged back. Actually, it's Max Mayer. Okay, got it. So Max Mayer. What is Max Mayer's Instagram? What is Max Mayer's Twitter handle? Maxwell Mayer. Let's find that. Maxwell Mayer. That's not doing it. What's his you guys know? Do a show with Terry. Who's Terry? I starting to think that I don't know anybody. Kevin and Perry. Oh, Meet Kevin. Okay, yes, of course. Meet Kevin. Meet Kevin. So that's real Meet Kevin. We need Max. We need Max Mayer's Instagram. I don't think it's any of these people. So this is my conversation with Max. He says, I said, I'm a data science YouTuber you watched on your channel a few weeks ago. I love that you have Trey on your live streams. He said, yeah, I'd be down for that. And then nothing. So we'll see if they wanted to actually talk to me. Okay, I don't know what Max's handle is on Twitter. Andre says, hi, Andrew. Can you cover the DD by Oncridstone? Of course. So I'm going to cover some DD. Let's find out later. So we get Oncridstone. Show results from RGME. Oncridstone DD about it's not being Moon Day. Uh-oh. It's not going to be Moon Day? Huh? Okay, so maybe I just have to search like this. So I go GameStop, popular, Oncridstone. Okay, maybe some of you just have to send it to me because I don't know how to find it. Okay, so we got Real Me Kevin, Uncle Bruce. Uncle Bruce, I don't know what his Twitter is either. But I don't think Josh is gonna come back very soon because he did say he's gonna take care of his dog for a while. So we're just gonna have to send this out with trade trades and Real Meet Kevin. So tweet. And there you go. You can go retweet it at Andrew Mo Money at Twitter, and then hopefully that does something. Okay. Easy Peasy says, do a show with Randy the Macho Man Savage. What would that show be about? Mike Zoe says, I'd rather Meatball than Meet Kevin. That's very funny. It's a pretty good one. That's very funny. Yeah, you're kind of funny. Jens 1988. Josh said that he was a jurist. Same word in Swedish, hence I know it, which means he isn't a lawyer in the sense that he's going to court, but he's handling legal issues at companies. Gotcha. Okay. It's kind of like a jurisprudence kind of I don't know anything about law, so unfortunately. Martin Jones says, currently baking some space goodies for the Journey boys. We all comfortable? Yeah, we better be comfortable. You better have enough to share for the whole crowd. Lenny Newball, thank you for the super. Hello, just heard about you from Trey's Trade. Why didn't AMC spike today? Can you help this ape understand? Thanks. AMC is up 7.8%, so that's 7% and change. AMC did have a lot of call options that were in the money. However, it did require that the people that were in the money exercise those options. So that is the main point. A gamma squeeze can only take an AMC so far. The options that are in the money need to be exercised as well. Macho Man is dead, bro. Really? No, I'm just kidding. I knew that. I play dumb on this show sometimes. Okay, so we're looking at the DD from Oncridstone on Reddit because it tells a different story than Mr. Josh does. Can I search by top? Okay, so top today. Max is live streaming right now. You can message him on his channel. Yeah, everyone's live streaming right now. This is the crux of YouTube world. There's, let me see, 12,000 people watching Matt. There's 8,000 people watching Bruce. There's 900 people watching Max. Let's see. Oh shoot, did Trey do something 11 minutes ago to my message? Okay, so we are looking at GameStonk, Ancrid. Honestly, can one of you send the Ancrid message to me on Instagram? Ancrid Stone. What is a shill? Alex Campos says. A shill is someone who has essentially just decided that money is more important, so their opinions are not really that trustworthy. So they have been paid money to have opinions that are not their own. I think that's the easiest way to describe a shill. Jose Cervantes says, I left Meet Kevin to watch your channel. That means a lot. Thank you. We're keeping it real here. I say no to almost every single advertisement, but if you did have a business proposition, there's a new email, send it to andrewmobusiness@gmail.com. That's the best way to reach me for business emails. 2200 up in here. Massage that like button, says Mike Zoe. Thank you. Massage that like button. I like that. Thiago says, what do you mean by exercise? I mean that when you have the option to buy, so when you buy a contract that is an option, you pay a premium, and then you have the option, but not the obligation, to buy 100 shares of a stock at a certain price. And in order to be able to actually do that, you need money. Price is lower than the actual price, that your strike price is lower than the actual price of the stock, then you try and exercise it by buying that stock at the price that you wanted, that you bought the premium to buy it at. That's what exercise means. People are saying that GameStop is breaking out. Oh, actually, you know what? You might be right. It is up 5%. Seems. Nope. Having a little bit of turbulence. Yeah, I'm not. Don't stare at the chart too much. It makes your head hurt. Let us look at the. Oh, here it is. I found it. I found it myself. Okay. In that case, we are going to just talk about this post. There's a lot. This is great. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna make a whole video about this. Here we go. You guys ready? Take off this jacket. Meatball's like, I'm ready. Okay, here we go. What's going on, guys? My name is Andrew. I got this biggest stein in the world because I got the biggest opinions out here. If you guys were on Trey's Trades, Gorilla Game, welcome. We just got a whole bunch of new members. If you have not yet, smash that subscribe button to join the Meatball Army and join Miss Professor Meatball as well as myself. I would really appreciate that, as well as smashing that bell button too. And I'll tell you why, because today we have important counter DD to our friend of the show and man who decided to do his 1, 2, and 3rd and final interview live stream on my channel over the weekend. Hey, it's Pixel and Josh. His DD is being called into question by a user called Ancrid Stone 19 hours ago. And we are going to cover it. We're going to cover exactly what is up, and I think the only thing you need to do is strap in, hit that like button, and be ready to have some critical lenses to the endgame DD that Josh had defended on the channel and answered your questions so patiently before. Give a thumbs up for Josh, and right as we go along, let us read this with a critical eye. So, Ancrid Stone says, I believe that the DD leading to March 19th is fatally flawed, and he will explain with references to his sources. The DD that he was referring to is posted by Josh. Hey, it's Pixel. Please let me be clear. This post is not meant to shout anyone down, but is rather to develop the conversation. With over 6,100 comments on the main post, he felt it warranted a post on its own so that it could be heard. Before he gets to the important stuff, he would like to start off with the really important stuff, okay? Excellent sentence already. Hey, to Josh and all the mods of the sub, as well as anyone posting DD, they believe that we owe you our gratitude for putting in the effort to develop our understanding. Right or wrong, you are doing your best for the cause. Okay. If you are more interested in what I have to say than why I'm saying it, then please scroll down to the important stuff. For my 2 cents, I think it was right to publish the DD. Okay, so he is not saying that Josh was wrong to publish that DD. There are many people whose DD is being deleted from other subs. Our GME is the only place where it appears that DD isn't being deleted, and even stuff that appears to be totally bogus is being allowed to remain, so it cannot be discussed and called out. He applauds the mods for the courage to allow this level of free speech in this entire sub. The only suggestion of DD that I have seen is in response to the anticipation of the DD and predicting the date of the squeeze. I think that was an overhyped nature of this post. I've never even seen a trailer for a DD post, and an instinctive knee-jerk reaction. I have not seen a single comment on any DD post saying that DD shouldn't have been posted because it helps the other side know what we know. Yes, it gives them a chance to readjust their tactics, but they can do that whether we know what they are up to or not. So I don't think that is a major concern. Knowledge is power. Remember, data is king, and we demonstrate the extent of our knowledge, then we are showing our power. And this is the most important part of, if you guys are following the live stream, I mentioned exactly what I did not like about Josh revealing the date, giving us the playbook so that we understand, but also putting us, one, in a sense of false hope about expectations of how it's going to play out in the next few weeks, and 2, giving the playbook straight away to the bad guys, the hedge funds, the institutions, the hedgies, the hedgehogs. I can't post this on RGME because I don't have the minimum requirements. This is the only form of censorship that he can see taking place, not of me personally, but of new accounts on this sub, and they fully understand the reasons so that they can protect the sub from bots and shills using new accounts. Whether you have posted in favor or against a prediction of the date of the squeeze, I think you are providing an invaluable contribution because it keeps this sub from being an echo chamber of positive sentiment. Just as in academia, all research is peer-reviewed, they think it's only right that DD should be too. A critical friend is sometimes the best friend to have because they can help you see the error of your ways. Please consider Ankrid Stone a critical friend. So now the important stuff. So I guess all of the really important stuff was just, hey, covering my butt. This is stuff that I want to know, that I'm not against Josh. I'm just against some of the things that he said. And now that we have objective peer review lenses on, let's see what this critical friend has to say. This is worded as a response to the original post from Josh. The analysis isn't tightly connected to the conclusions. Most of the analysis is an assumption as to what transpired and barely features in the end game. Now, one of the things you might notice is that Josh said his last live stream for a long time is yesterday. So that already happened. So there's no way for him to respond to these allegations. So that's something to keep in mind. They think that your theory is very similar to the interstellar yo-yo theory, only that theory explains how the shorts get out of their position at crunch time on a cyclical basis, whereas yours assumes that they have got themselves stuck. Your post also reads as though both sides are engaging in massive amounts of market manipulation. They may be, but to suggest that people long on GME are involved in market manipulation is just an invitation for the SEC to step in and put an end to the mother of all short squeezes before it even happens. Kramer is apparently already talking about how we should all be paid $200 per share and be done with it. Can't remember the link, but it's not important enough to find. Let's not give fuel to that argument. I believe there are following factual errors and omissions in the analysis. They believe that most, if not all, people on this sub and others holding GME are doing so because they believe the stock can only go up in price. We are not buying in droves to manipulate the price upwards. We just buy what we can when we think the price looks good. That is pretty darn objectively true, in my opinion. I think a lot of people are just here to make a buy when we think the price is pretty darn attractive. The rabbit hole part 1. In this part, he is talking about how the GameStop was dropped on the SSR list. You have misunderstood the application of SHO Rule 201. It is not a drop of 10% in the trading day that triggers the uptick rule. It is a drop of 10% from the previous day's close that triggers it. Okay, this is just a factual error, but doesn't affect your conclusions. It does become important later, though. Okay, so already we are seeing a lawyer, a German lawyer perhaps, maybe it doesn't have the same exact laws in America, but a lawyer getting a legal anything wrong? This is important, and I'm sure if we could call Josh back from the retirement puppy wife time that he is having, he might speak to this already. Rabbit hole part 2. I think the suggestion that these events were orchestrated, planned by a secret hedge fund trying to force a future MOAS is dangerous. So this is where he's talking about how there are two different large beef having institutions, one unknown institution and one the hedgies that we have been fighting against this whole time, are trying to change the price with volume that normal retail investors do not have access to. But Ankrit Stone says there is no analysis of past options trading to suggest that the train of options was anything out of the ordinary. The way that things played out on the 24th was a gamma squeeze similar to what took place in January, only with less of a chain reaction as the stock price was held below $100 by the close of trading. It was closed at $90 and change. In the next 2 days, the shorts managed to contain the fire by finishing below $110. And that is exactly what happened. I think you are right that $50 was the critical price to trigger the squeeze that day, but $40 was also important on the 19th of February. The gamma squeeze occurred purely because of uncovered calls by the shorts. Let's not give them ammunition to say it was actually caused by manipulation by people going long. I think I just missed a super. Elias says, hey Andrew, just tuned in. Treats for Meatball. Thank you so much. Meatball needs to drink this water before he have any treats. Here you go, buddy. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Okay, let's keep going. So, in the absence of any analysis of previous trading patterns, then your suggestions are purely hypothetical. They may be right, but I think that's the only right that you highlight the distinction between evidence-supported DD and anecdotally supported hypotheses. There is conflation in Josh's DD that is sometimes just his opinion and sometimes in actual evidence, and that is an important note. As well. The rabbit hole part 3, your reference for the 21 days to cover a naked short is outdated, probably written around 2007, as this is the latest day in the text, and it does not include the updates to regulation SHO introduced in 2008 and 2009. It does not even contain a mention of the uptick rule. For the current limits, which are only 13 days of FTD, please see. All right, so where was this guy when Josh was asking for proofreaders, right? Like, this guy could have easily come in. Excuse me. This guy could have come in and proofread the document here so that Josh could have gotten this right the first time. The important thing about Rule 203b3 is that it only applies to threshold securities. So if GME isn't on the list, then the requirement to buy back in 13 days later doesn't apply. GME hasn't been on the threshold list since the 3rd of February and still isn't back on it now. Okay, this is really important. Part 2 of the rabbit hole, part 3. I think you missed something very important in your analysis. Remember good old regulation 201, the uptick rule? You overlooked this on the 26th of February. That day, the price tanked from the previous close of $108 to a low of $86. That means from around midday, the uptick rule was still in play and shorting on the downturn was not permitted. And yet for the last 90 minutes of the market open, they managed to aggressively push the price down from 117 to 101 close. Remember, we celebrated that 101 close. How could this happen if they couldn't short on a downturn? And an analysis of the candles at 1 minute intervals shows that there was repeated large volume sales with no uptick in that time. Either the shorts lied about the fact they were selling short, dangerous but not impossible, or these weren't short sales but actual shares being sold. But by who? So this part 3 was about naked shorting, and now it seems like that these naked shorts were not actual naked shorts. Opportunists who think that $120 was the high at which to sell, unlikely after the stock opened at $169 the previous day and had hit an earlier high that same day of $142, unlikely but not impossible. Who else owned a poop ton of shares and had a motive to sell? If that would mean bringing the price down. Possibly those who got caught in the gamma squeeze earlier in the week, who had bought to hedge against the ever-increasing number of calls likely to finish ITM in the money. And remember, volumes were crazy high after hours on Wednesday and on Thursday. They bought a shisa ton of shares to cover their possible losses on calls and forced a gamma squeeze. The close at $108 meant that many calls below that amount were likely exercised already as they'd closed above strike. The price had run back down to just shy of $120, meaning the calls at $110 and $120 were in danger of finishing in the money at the close of the day. They could buy in to hedge against the need to buy to cover, but this would risk another gamma squeeze to end the week. Or they could sell the ones that they bought to hedge their positions, forcing the price lower so that they wouldn't suffer any more losses and hopefully avoiding another gamma squeeze. Remember that the uptick rule would be in place on Monday and they would have a little leverage to manipulate the price back down as they did on Thursday. Finishing with a gamma squeeze on Friday with a restriction on shorting on Monday could have ignited the rockets and started the MOAS. Okay. So this is pretty different from what Josh was describing in his rabbit hole part 3. This is part 4. Important. XRT holdings of GME did not increase. Okay, this is pretty seismic news. The value of the holdings of GME increased, but that was the case for everyone holding GME. We went from holding shares worth $40 at the end of the week to holding shares worth $101 at the end of the week. Unless we bought or sold in the meantime, then we still have the same number of shares. Exactly the same is true of XRT and the other ETFs, except that unlike us, they can't increase or decrease their holdings of GME. They have to hold the same number of shares relative to their total float. Don't get blinded by the value of GME as a percentage of the ETFs. That way madness lies. Wow. So that is a huge distinction between what Josh said about XRT. Okay, this is starting to build up. Evidence to support March 19th, 2021. This is seven or eight different pieces of evidence that Josh specifically noted about the March 19th date. If you guys have not smashed that like button yet for these groundbreaking, shell-shocking revelations, then you have to, because Meatball is done with his water, which means he's going to get a treat very soon. He's not done with his water. I just spilled some. AI prediction starts around that date. First off, you can't say something will happen on a given date because something else says it will happen around that date. Again, Josh himself admitted that AI as the first point was not because it was the strongest point, and I am still very skeptical of a computer model. If it were that reliable, then the person who built it would be a multi-billionaire because they would have the only known working crystal ball in the world. Please, let's not overstate the accuracy of this model. Remember, garbage in equals garbage out. And if the cogs in the machine aren't aligned right, even with pure raw materials going in, you're gonna get a gnarled mess on the other end. This is true. There are so many reasons why this model does not work. I personally have not seen an apocryphal model, and so I don't want to be disparaging towards it other than to sound a note of caution. You don't give any links to the model for anyone to check for themselves, just the raw data, which is useless on its own. Thank you for the super. Give Meatball a scratch behind the ear and tell him it's from Get Smart Media Worldwide. Get Smart Media Worldwide gave you this scratch. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They just gave you a scratch. We're talking about how Josh's endgame DD is not 100% accurate, and we've already seen some important claims that Josh's research is not correct. I personally have not seen, okay, that's what, blah, blah, blah. Has the model proven its ability to predict the future? For example, if you put in the data until the end of December, does it predict the gamma squeeze that happened at the end of January? Did it predict this week's gamma squeeze based on the data up to the end of January? When was the model last updated? To me, the model is not evidence of anything, just confirmation bias. This I completely agree with. Doesn't mean that Josh is wrong about it, just because this is one out of his 8 different points. Let's not try to spam the chat. Gonna have to put you in timeout. Okay, remember the naked short activity on February 24th and 25th? You are measuring daily short volume and assuming that equates to short interest. Read the disclaimer that comes with the data that you are quoting. These are not necessarily short sales, although they might be. Don't pin your hopes on daily short volume being an indicator of eventual short interest. They've already debunked the 21 days for failure to deliver. 18th is XRT rebalance day. They think that Josh is flawed in the assessment that XRT will pay a dividend by the 19th of March. This is something that I have, that I read DD about almost 2 weeks ago now, and something that I pressed Josh hard about during the interview. Look at the table you posted, look at all of it. Ex-dividend dates are published months in advance. They haven't been published for this year yet. Why do you think that a process that would normally allow for about a month between the declaration date and the ex-dividend date for most stocks, and in the case of XRT specifically has always been 2 months in advance for March, be rushed through in less than 3 weeks this time around? This is important if true, big if true. The ex-dividend dates in 2020 were all on a Monday, not a Friday. Then again, the dates for 2019 were all Fridays. History doesn't show us to predict when it will be with any degree of certainty. In my honest opinion, you have about a 20% chance of being right. You also have no source for the claim on the ex-dividend date, and so this is pure speculation at this point. Also, the importance of the ex-dividend date is overstated. I wish Josh was here to defend himself, because honestly, this is pretty huge. This is unfortunately one of the most important parts of his analysis of pieces of evidence that points to March 19th. Yes, short sellers pay in lieu the price of the dividend. Yes, there is tax liability for dividends paid in lieu by short sellers, but the short seller is in no way responsible for the tax liability. It is all on the shareholder. In fact, if the short seller has held the short position unhedged for 45 days, then they actually get a tax break for paying the dividend in lieu. This is getting a little bit technical, but the main point is that when I pushed Josh on the question of do the dividends have to be posted on this day, he said the tax incentives speak for themselves. Unfortunately, it seems like the tax incentives might also be reversed. You make the mistake of referring to another Reddit DD post without verifying what they are saying is true. This is why Wikipedia isn't a trusted source of information, because anyone can write whatever they want. Also, the most recent dividend was 25C. How likely are the shorts to worry about 25C on an $80 share that they have shorted when they stand to collapse if GME takes off? They are losing more than that by the price spikes in GME pushing the price of the underlying up disproportionately. And don't forget, you say that they covered all the rest of the underlying straight away, so they aren't even profiting from those other shares in the underlying falling in value. I think some things need to be kept in perspective here. The relative importance of the dividend payments, in their honest opinion, isn't a big factor. You talk about ETF rebalancing and don't explain it or how it will affect GME. What is rebalancing? It is the process by which ETF adjust the amount of shares of each underlying it holds relative to each other so that they have to correct weighted value. What does this mean? Well, as you pointed out, GME is about 10% of the value of the underlying XRT. That means movement in the price of GME has far more of an effect on the share price of XRT than the other underlying stocks. This is bad for the ETF because they want to be the stable ship in rough waters. The shorts are shorting ETFs because this depresses the stock price of the ETF and makes the AP redeem shares for the underlying to keep the share price in balance with the NAV. They are pumping in money to depress the share price of XRT so that GME will be pushed out the other end, which will in turn depress the value of GME because it is listed for sale in large volumes. What happens at rebalancing? Well, if GME is 10% of the value of the underlying and ETF wants it to be only 1%, they are going to reduce their holdings of GME by somewhere in the region of 90%. This is bad because it means that at that point, the shorts won't have to pump the money in to short the ETF to get GME onto the market. The ETF will just give it up. And I even asked Josh specifically, do the institutions running the ETF have an incentive to screw over the hedge funds that are waiting for the price to drop? And he did say something similar to the effect of these institutions do not have to support each other. I am going to clip all of his answers, especially to some of the questions here later so that you guys can see his answers for yourself. More GME will be released onto the market than was pumped out on the 28th and 29th of January without the shorts having to spend a single penny shorting that day. March 19th could actually be turned into the day of the mother of all short attacks, MOASA, except it won't be a short attack, but a reaction to the gamma squeeze. When is this going to happen? Yep, March 19th. Am I guessing? No, he does his own research. Rebalancing occurs on the third Friday of the quarter ending month, or March 19th if the quarter ends in March. Okay, so technically he is guessing that the quarter ends in March for XRT, but at least he is giving the information for those more capable than him to find the missing piece to finish this part of the puzzle. Okay, so the research is not finished. However, it seems like March 19th now. I'm getting a little like hot and heavy. It seems like now the March 19th could be potentially a day of a short attack instead of a short squeeze. So technically, they are guessing the quarter ends in March, but at least they're giving more information. Could there be a silver lining to rebalancing? They think so. If the number of GME shares held by the ETFs is reduced to 90% relative to the number of shares of the ETF itself, then this means the same amount of shorting of the ETFs after the rebalancing will have 10% of its current effect. The shorts won't be able to manipulate the price of GME via the ETF so easily from March 19th onward. Rebalancing places no onus on a short seller to do anything. It is purely internal process for the ETF. Based on $100 per share of GME, it will be about 10 times harder to manipulate GME through XRT. As an aside, this document, which details how the ETF will be run and managed, makes no reference to when dividends will be paid. In their honest opinion, past patterns are not necessarily indicative of future behaviors, particularly in the age of COVID. At this point, it's important to note that I still have faith in Josh. However, I'm having trouble believing in the March 19th date. Of course, whether or not this changes your mind, you do have to understand that this is not financial advice. This is just some other person's research that counters another well-read person's research, and you do have to do your own research, just like maybe another counter DD that might come out in support of March 19th. Massive chain options. What you have here is an observation, not analysis. So GME has ridiculous chain options that day, in particular compared to dates before and after, but so do all stocks. Why is GME the important one out of the shares on the market? The data you've quoted to is comparing apples to oranges, only the calls in GME and only the puts in the others. What about puts in GME and calls in the others? This is something that Josh even mentioned during the live stream, as he would change his DD about this. If you compare GME volume of calls with the volume of calls in the other stocks, is there any discernible difference? Likewise with the puts. The post you refer to is written by someone they can't make up their mind on. He thinks he is either extremely talented, the mother of all fudders, or he is a simple smooth brain with amazing mining skills. He started the whole $40 close argument on the 12th of February. Almost all of this sub came out shouting him down because he made such fundamental mistakes in that post. And if you look at his post commenting on the 25th of February activity, he says, if we shorted 33 million shares, and let's be very generous and say that they shorted every share at $100, that would be 3 billion with a B in stock shorted today. They shorted GameStop's entire market cap worth of shares in one day. Again, let's be generous and say that they cost them 6% on average for them. The day started at 1% and ended at 12%. So we will give them all the middle finger. 3 billion times 6% is $200 million in borrow cost today alone. $200 million to drive the price down for a single day. It's that important. Makes for great reading, except the percentages that he's talking about are the interest rates, APR, and he talks about them as if they're a fixed fee. Don't believe me? Then follow his Fintel link to see for yourself. This guy is able to mine and interpret huge amounts of complicated options data and then interpret them in order to be able to draw conclusions that nobody else can see, and yet doesn't know how a credit card works. Do you really expect me he can't tell the difference between an interest rate and a borrowing fee? Really? I think if you're going to trust someone else's DD, you really need to be sure of that person. Okay. This is not as big of a blow. It's not like the mother of all short squeezes on March 19th could actually become a mother of all short attacks, like in point 3. But let's also cover the quadruple witching day. Combine these observations about options chains with your 5th point about March 19th being a quadruple witching day, and you might actually have your answer. The market is expecting a lot of volatility on this day, so is it any sign that anyone is hedging against that volatility? You're drawing a conclusion based on a single observation that has another obvious explanation. Collinearity. This is important. This is something that in my head I was thinking about. It is a little bit too much of a coincidence that this is about. This is going to happen on the same point as number 3 and 2. It seems like quadruple witching day could be an explanation for all of the contracts and expiration. What historically happens on quadruple witching days? They happen 4 times a year, most recently in December 2020. So there should be plenty of data out there to look at and establish if March 19th, 2021 is any different or just repeating the same pattern that occurs every 3 months of every year. Okay. GameStop Q4 earnings are released 4 days after March 19th. How on earth is this going to affect the short sellers? Do you expect a massive swell of confidence before the earnings report is announced as opposed to after it? You might as well include the fact that Ryan Cohen has the staff of GameStop looking for the cure for cancer and expects to find them on the March 23rd. That is mean, but it is a fair point. Okay, they're being obtuse. I hope they get the point that the earnings report will affect things after it's published, not before. 7. Now that the price is rising every Friday, millions of worth of stock on contract is going in the money. Sorry, no.
Only if the price continues rising will millions worth of stock finish in the money. They've probably already dealt with the majority of calls up to $100 who wouldn't have exercised their contracts this week when the price went over. So only those over $100 pose a danger now. If they can keep the stock under 110, then these contracts aren't a danger anymore. The only person Diamond bald enough to not have it exercise the call contract that I know of is DFE himself, who is sitting on $12 calls expiring on the 16th of April. Who knows, maybe he's waiting for the perfect time to pull the trigger on them to send his 100,000 shares held long into orbit. If he's still holding, then it's because he thinks the stock still has a ways to go up. Their thoughts? With the rebalancing taking place on the quadruple witching day, it's likely to be a very volatile day with huge amounts of GME dumped on the market, so don't be surprised if we close that day down on the previous day. The really important part of the picture that is missing for me is who sold the calls that are now finishing in the money. The shorts have known for months that the MOAS is coming, and they are caught in the middle of it. They need a way out, and desperately. Are we really to believe that their entire plan is to continue shorting until GameStop goes bankrupt? Well, that's not likely to happen, so I doubt that it is their plan. It does seem like it is too simple. The other escape route, get GME back down to a value where they cover their shorts and buy back gradually. Still unlikely with the estimated number of shares floating around, and the diamond hands that hold the shares. They're spitballing, but what if the shorts are the ones who bought all the calls and then forced the gamma squeeze this week? They make money from the calls being exercised and have a shice ton more stock to sell on the market to depress the share price. Shorting an ETF means that the price of GME gets artificially depressed. The AP has to acquire new shares of GME to bring the AUM back up in line with the share price of the ETF compared to the NAV. That's something I've talked about before. It's like borrowing a sell from the future. The shorts now have passed the bag for their positions in GME to the AP, who had created naked longs to reconstitute the ETF holdings. By hiding in the calls, they could be passing the buck for their naked short positions to others. Citadel buys calls from another clearinghouse who gets caught in a gamma squeeze and now has to find shares at any price. Now that the other clearinghouses has a vested interest in seeing the price of GME collapse, share your pain with your enemies, and all of a sudden they have the same interest as you, and you have an enemy in common. Hold on. Don't spam. A far more pressing danger that needs to be dealt with so that you both get out alive, because if they go down, then you have no choice but to go down with them. They know that the general rule is that as soon as you mention the Nazis, you lose the argument, but the whole world united against the Nazi party and their Axis pals. What happens immediately after they were vanquished? The Allied forces went back to their old factions and had 40 years of a Cold War. If the shorts managed to get every other market maker on the hook, if GME spiked, then you bet your tookuses they will get grouped together to cover themselves, regardless of how much they despise each other. Here endeth my ramblings. Please accept these comments in the spirit as they are intended. They are sitting in the same rocket as you, waiting for liftoff. Their wife and kids are next to me. Okay, I'm gonna say it in his voice. My wife and kids are next to me, and our savings are right under the burners and stand to get eviscerated if this thing starts up but doesn't take off. I have friends and family sat all around me, holding onto my diamond hands while we wearing blindfolds, trusting in my research and DD. We are all in this together, and I want you to be as right as much as you do, but wanting ain't worth jack. We are comrades in this war of attrition, and we assume that if you are holding GME, not only do you have diamond hands and balls of steel, but also skin thick enough to have someone else disagree with your opinion without taking it as a personal affront. I would like nothing more for someone to prove me wrong, because I don't have any answers, just observations, and even if I am not proven wrong, that doesn't mean that the MOAS isn't still brewing on the horizon, with more and more fuel being pumped into the tanks ready for liftoff. Peace. If that was as much of a shell shock as it was to me, for you, I think I want to hear your opinion in the comment section down below. Is March 19th still a possibility, or is it just a trap for us to fall into? Here is my 2 cents. I am just a smooth-brained ape, just like you guys. I want a banana. I'm diamond handing. But the most important part is that you do not get your expectations up and think that March 19th is the end-all and be-all. Dates are just dates, right? And just like this research said, and even like how Josh said, this might not happen on March 19th. There could be a huge backslide. There could be a short attack instead. And the most important part is if enough people are complacent and happy and think that March 19th is the day, and then it isn't, we could see a humongous amount of paper handing from retail investors who were promised the moon and did not get it. I'm losing my voice because of how emotional this gets me. I want you all to know that we are here together. Meatball is here. I am here. All of the Meatball Army is here. If you guys enjoyed this content, please continue supporting the channel by coming to the live streams, hitting that bell button so you know when the live streams are. And until next time, I'm excited to learn more with you. Peace. All right, so that is that is the counter DD for Josh's DD. Like, I'm not even gonna ask him to respond because I respect his privacy. But god dang it, does that make me scared? Let me read some of your comments. Oh man. Let's see. Breaking news 9 on AMC. Aha, AMC is up 12%. Awesome. Is there news about it? Nope, not yet. But AMC is up 12%, 13% now, heading over to this level of resistance that I mapped out earlier today. Now, let's see if it can break through this level of resistance at $9.14. GME still stuck trading sideways at $106, but hey, it's up. It's up 5%. I am curious about what you guys think about that counter DD for Josh's DD. So let's see what we have in the live chat. Hello all, this is Andrea from his off the count. He eat a little bit of that. He got in the way. You want to live here? We do. Some random animals from Lullaby. Not sure what that is about, Adric. But how's Albert? Let's see. Texas here. Nobody can predict the future with reliability. If they could, they would not share because that changes it. Yeah. Meatball is praying for all of us. Meatball, please continue to pray for us. Drink this water, Meatball. Otherwise, I can't give you any treats. Nimbus says, what did I miss? Some pretty danging, I can't say the D word, pretty danging news about GME and the March 19th squeeze date. We're watching AMC struggle to make it to $9.14, a level of resistance that, if it does push through, should be supported by it. Or if it does get rejected by $9, it probably is going to hover around here for a long time. Matthew Curry says, we could pull out in small intervals as to not crash the price. Would be lovely if it just kept moving up slowly, at least from the heights. Every price movement upward needs to be matched to a buy. So therefore, if we all get off the rocket, it's going to happen all at once, essentially. So be careful. Chenny Chen has given a treat for Meatball. Thank you, Meatball. I now owe you like 5 treats. So once Meatball's finished with that water, I'm going to give him 5 whole treats. Mr. Junior says, subscribed. Heck yeah. Alan McGraw says, I am sad. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Yeah, I'm a little sad too. Cool editing style, says Zion Visionary. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm just I'm trying to make sure that everything's popping for you guys. Speed Devil X sent a doggo meme on Instagram. Couldn't find any photos of my dog. All good. Let's make sure we get a dog on here. We have a dog, Strudel. When he was a puppy, this is his first airplane flight to meet his grandma. Strudel, this is from perfect.o. Let's look at Strudel. Such a cute doggo. Strudel is gracing our live stream right now, giving us good vibes so that GME doesn't get rejected at 9. Seems like it just got rejected at $9.10. Now it's back down to $9. Still up 12%, so it's looking good. It's looking good. What is going on with the live chat? Some of you are talking about poetry. You guys are making poetry in here. Yeah, overall entertainment for those with date predictions. I don't know of any DD that would predict the pump last week, so I think dates are wrong. The squeeze is real. That's a pretty good mantra. Squeeze is wrong. Date is wrong. Squeeze is real. Okay. Let's see. Don't tell the edgies, but Meaty Ball says he's gonna create some ghost share for us, just us. Okay, JT Rose. Don't tell the hedgies. Once now I've read your comment. Now I think they know.
Lord Weird says, the way I phrased it in his comment on that post was, I like the stock, I like the Pixels DD, I like this counter DD, I'm currently agnostic, I guess I just have more homework to do. Great point. That's an excellent point. Guess we have some homework to do. Anyone else talked about what they're thinking about? What is happening, Adric? Why are you like writing poetry in the live chat? Uh-oh. Thursday is going down. Friday is even worse because it's the last day of the shorts to cover. It's just hold, don't look at your phone. It really might get bad before it gets good. This is the truth. It's time for me to clip that. Honestly, that was like a 30-minute video, and 1,000 likes. Awesome. Let's give Meatball. You know what, Meatball? I'm just gonna dump your water. I'm gonna dump Meatball's water. I'm gonna give him 5 treats for 1,000 likes. Showtime. Oh, okay. Here's a big old treat for Meatball. Let's have Meatball chomping on some treats back there. Dum 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 dum. Nom 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 nom. Bum 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 bum. Eat slowly, buddy. 2, 3. Meatball is very healthily fed, not in a overly unhealthy way. It's important you guys know that. He goes for exercise. He's a very fit dog, and it's just a good time. Okay, so we're looking at the stonks. We're looking at cute dog called Strudel. Phantom Savage, Nintendo Capri Sun, I hear ya. I've been spending the last few weeks binge watching investment videos to educate myself. Started my portfolio a week ago. Already have 50 AMC shares. Education is the best thing that we can imagine here. So thank you guys for coming and chilling with us. Let's see. Oh, AMC just while I was away, AMC has pushed through that level of resistance at $9.14. Pretty big, up 15%. Continuing on this runaway, is up was up to $9.25. That's why Jack Jones decided to become a member. He did that because he pressed the join button next to the subscribe button. That's huge. It means a lot to me that Jack Jones is here now. If you want to be like Jack Jones, then go ahead and press that join button. It gives you cool emojis and other flares, like changing the color of your name. Pretty cool. AMC is going nuts, so crazy-o. We got Sarah Wauer. I'm in AMC for 40 shares, pondering getting in on GME maybe, but it seems like AMC is a little bit more budget-friendly opportunity. You can always buy partial shares. Final Boss haven't been back in a while. Ouchers to the counter DD. Still believe in the fundamentals for GME, so we'll continue to hold. Thank you for all the information, Andrew. Yes, it's a big bummer because it got us all hype over the weekend, but it's important to note. It's important to know. We still love Josh. Josh tried his best, and I think Josh is here. Is that Josh? Is this a different Josh? That doesn't look like Josh. Josh says AMC better offer free popcorn and soda for all of this. I don't think that's regular Josh. Jack Jones not only became a member, another super. Let's go. Let's give Meatball a treat. Let's get this bread. Boom, boom, boom. GME is up as well. GME is up 6-7%, up to 108. We are feeling good, feeling the power. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Don't give any financial advice in the chat. Bo Powell, thank you for answering my question earlier. Been following since your great vid on misleading JOMA information. Wish you the best. Thank you, man. That's a long time ago. You're an original follower of me. Nicholas Guliak, curious. Thank you for the super. What happens when you try to sell your call options and no one buys? RKT, AMC, GME, MVIS, Snap, Palantir, etc. Worried close to expiration. What if no one buys? I don't think no one can buy. Even in this case of like diamond handing for AMC and GME, it just doesn't seem that likely. And then AMC is now back down past the level of resistance, seems to have been rejected at a higher level, which is good. That could be a trend for today, or it might just try and push right back and be supported by this level again. Boy, oh boy, this is exciting. I don't know the answer to that question. I just assume that most markets are entirely free, so there shouldn't be restriction. There shouldn't be no one
buying on the other side. But of course, I am smooth brain ape. Josh from Oakland, not Josh from Germany. Thank you, Josh, for clarifying. Speed Devil X spammers sometimes. Probably YouTube has been having bot issues. They spam weird stuff. That's why you probably saw us random poetry. No, I think Adric is a regular guy, so I'm just wondering why he's doing that. Let's see. Matthew Curry, AMC chicken tendies, greasy seats, LMAO, awesome. B-Boy says, subscribe, my man. Keep up the great vibes. Stay healthy and happy. I am healthy and happy. I'm looking at dogs. This was Strudel, the cute little dog when he was a puppy, going to see his grandma on his very first airplane flight. Let me read some more dogs. Uncle Bruce, who recently has gotten traction on WallStreetBets, has been talking about doing an interview with someone from WallStreetBets. Check out his recent videos describing what's going on. I would love to talk to Uncle Bruce. I would love to interview with Bruce. He does feel like an uncle to me. I'm not even sure. Like, who are his nephews is the question. We got hey man from Caleb Boyd 3. Been holding GME for 5 weeks now. Been quite a ride. You're by far my favorite streamer while discussing GME. You have a level of professionalism and intelligence that is rare to find online. I'm just smooth brain ape, man, but I appreciate that so much. You have I learned more from you than my current finance professor. Anyway, you're the man. Keep it up. Also obligatory dog pick. His name is Dice. Dice is the cutest. And let's get Dice up here to make sure that we honor Dice with today's tendies. AMC is up 15%. Das ist gut. This is good. AMC up 15%. We like the stock. GME still up only 6%. That's okay. We are still in it together. Remember, boys and girls, it's not like people are taking their money out of AMC and putting the GME or vice versa. We are all trying to ride the wave together, and a rising tide raises all ships. I think is how that works. Let's see. Let me see. Came here because of trades, digging it, says Adam Burnett. Let us go. People are asking about Sundial. I'll show you can look at it real quick. Sundial is up 6%. It is wow. It's seen some crazy volatility these past few days. I put a level of resistance here at $1.39. What's my next one? 30-minute view. Oh yeah, this is back when I couldn't draw parallel lines. So I'm gonna have to redo my Sundial and Tilray and Afria analyses because wow, these guys are really moving. Yeah, they're moving. It seems like so it's green all across the board. AMC is up 15% on its way to another level of resistance. Let's see. I think we could call $10.20. It only was ever rejected once at $10.20, which is why I'm a little bit hesitant to call that a level of resistance. But I will draw it just so that we remember it. So it was rejected around here. There's like 3 touch points pretty tightly packed next to each other. So the next price to beat after $9.30 is $10.35. Okay, so we're talking to Dice here. This is the dog. Let's see. GME and AMC are acting the same. Any thoughts about that? I don't think they're acting that similarly. I mean, they are in an upswing together, which is possibly a market, just markets moving in the same direction. Oh, a new member. Chad Graham, welcome. Chad, you are the smartest Chad in the world. Welcome to the group. Welcome to the Meatball Army. It's because you pressed the join button down below, right next to the subscribe button. And all of you have already pressed that subscribe button, right? Press that bell button to make sure that you don't miss a single live stream because we cover the best investment news out here. And it's an investment in yourself as well. You are investing in you, me, and seeing Meatball eat some treats as well. Das ist sehr gut, says Tom R. Wow, Dice is a beautiful dog. Oh, this is true. Let's see. We're talking about AMC to the moon.
Josh says, if the stock hits 400, I'm giving $2,000 to a homeless guy always sleeping outside my apartment. Josh, thank you for supporting people outside your home. You live in Oakland, right? So there's a lot of homeless people in the Bay Area. Jordan Hart says, just wanted to say hi and maybe get a shout out for my dog Willis. Sent you a DM on Instagram for pics. Of course we can get a picture of Willis, but what is your Instagram handle, Jordan Hart, so that I can find Willis because I have a lot of requests. So I want to be able to find the right one. So Jordan Hart, just go ahead and tell me your Instagram handle and I will look up Willis. Probably have to tell me a couple of times what your Instagram handle is. Andrew to the Moon says, use a hoe. Oh no, you made me say it. Why you make me say these things? Let's see. It looks like we all have our MBAs. Meatball Army. Wow, that's pretty good. We got Meatball Sub today. We got MBA Meatball Army. Claudia Cortez is joined as a member. That's because she pressed the join button down below. It's awesome. We love pressing that join button. It helps support the show. I appreciate that. Let's see. Sundial, we talking. Who is the one with the dog that I have to look at? Jordan Hart. Can you please put your Instagram down below so that I can look at your dog? Because I do not know what dog I am looking at. Looking for your comment here. Harry Lewington says, I have found a channel that has level 2 on a live stream. It's making me feel good about the squeeze, bro. You want the link? Yeah, I do. Send me that link. So AMC, you're talking about AMC or GME? Oh, GME is also up 12%. Oh my goodness gracious. We are moving. 115 GME in the house. AMC and GME are pushing. Let us get going. 16% up. Oh my god, goodness, golly gracious, up 15%. We are seeing to the moon. Up 15%. This is humongous. Humongo. Hold strong. Yes. Jordan, I need to see your dog. Send me your dog. Oh my god. GME is up roughly 13% right now, up to $115. We are popping. Oh my gosh. GME, here we go. Roaring Kitty. We are building it. Let's get going. Roaring Kitty tweeted. Oh, I gotta see that. Okay, let's look at Twitter. Let's look at Roaring Kitty. Roaring Kitty always with. He's probably looking at the markets too, honestly. Always with the. Oh, here's a GIF of him of. It's gonna be another movie that I've never watched before. Okay, someone explain what's going on here. So this is, we're looking at GME's price. We're also looking at the fact that Roaring Kitty has tweeted a new GIF. This is Aloha from Hawaii, says Roberto Gonzalez. How's it going? Gio Franco, I am not a cat. Josh says, I am a meerkat, not an ape. Good, not a cat. Bye. Any 1K diamond balls in here? How do you have 1K? Like, you have 1,000 shares? Oh my goodness. Cardi says level 2 on stream is not legal and you can be liable for the monthly price times the amount of viewers. Oh, okay. Then I definitely don't want to show that. Thank you so much for telling me that. Nathaniel Kirk, pop him. The only way to heaven is through Christ. Okay, thank you, Nathaniel. Steve Miller says it's a show called The Wire. That's Omar who robs drug dealers, and everyone is terrified of him. So Omar is coming out of an alleyway. Let's see if we can read what the gift says in the back. There's DE, either U or Deli, ACE. We got Rave. We got Boa. I can't read anything else. There's stickers in the back that say. I can't read that. It's if I can't read it, I doubt you guys can read it either. This is Omar is coming. Omar from The Wire. The Wire all scared from Omar. We're looking. People have the DFV. Let's get some DFVs in the chat. If you are a member, you can do colon DFV colon, and we get some DFVs in the chat. Oh my goodness. Let's get that DFV. Let's get Pog Tendies. Let's get going. in that scene, he's gonna go buy some milk. This guy needs some milk. We were looking at GME, had a high of 116 buckaroos, and now it is down 113. That's still 12% up. That's a good feeling. I am J squared says GME L2 data shows only buy and sells for single shares. Why is it moving from this? I don't know, because I can't show it on stream. Good thing that I don't. Alexandra Tamayo showing some DFVs. Chad Graham's showing me some DFVs. Boa Mali. Oh, wait. Yeah, that is your name. Huh. Are you in this GIF? Are you the one running away? Who's the one running away right now? What do you guys think? Is that the hedge funds, hedgehogs? This is huge. People says Dream Basketball. AMC is up 17%, all the way up to $9.43. If it can push through two different levels of resistance today, that is going to be humongous. I have them mapped out at 10.35 and 11.19. My goodness, 17% for AMC. This is huge. This is big. Someone's gonna buy a cat mouse. What is that? Is that a cat mouse? Let's see. We got where do I send dog pics? You can follow me on Instagram at Andrew Mo Money, and I will show your dog pic within a certain amount of time. Let's go back and look at this is Dice the dog. Very cute. Foybad. We already showed off this dog. Let me look at some of my requests. I have a lot of requests. GME baby, love the streams, bro. Watching as we speak. As a fellow Asian, you're the man for what you're doing, bro. Thank you, Max K 1989. Let's see. I'm just looking for dogs. So Gabriel SZGM, thank you for a encouraging message. Here's a dog. Kaya says diamond hands or else. This is from iChance with a Z. iChance, you're showing us your cute little shoob with me in the background. That's me. Can she see me? Is she looking at me right now? Well, now she gets to look at her. SPY is up too. It seems like that economic downturn, the bubble bursting, is old history, or it could be that this is just setting us up for an even worse market bubble pop, which is, don't say I didn't warn you, very, very possible. Let's see. AMC hits 400, they'll tattoo a diamond on their left hand. That's fair. I think that's a perfectly fair kind of tattoo to get. Adric says, Andrew, I love your streams, but I'm a regular. I want to be a member, but I'm poor. You just being a regular is a huge amount of support to me already. Those of you who want to be regulars, just like Adric, go ahead and drop that subscribe at the door. Leave your jacket off. We don't need to be too formal here. You guys can also hit that bell button to make sure you don't miss a single video, because our live streams come pretty out of the blue sometimes. It is 9 a.m. I wish we had more, but right now we are ending with a very, very high note. AMC is up 17%. GME is up 12%. Little is known about the people I live with, but I do live with people, and they need to now live and be alive. So I will be back. All 2,700 of you better wait for me, because I'll be back in 3 hours. I will be back at noon, and then we were going to talk about market close, okay? And if you guys are curious about future collaborations, I'm looking at you, Trades. I'm looking at you, Matt Kors. I'm looking at you, Meet Kevin. I'm looking at you, Uncle Bruce. You guys all have the balls in your court. I am ready to do a collab with you. Wouldn't that be awesome? Let us go ahead and make it happen. So the next thing is that if you guys have not yet quite smashed that subscribe button, you're not sure if you want to get to know the subscribe button, it's waiting for you. This video is brought to you by that subscribe button, so you do have to smash it. It's a legal contract to be able to continue watching the show. I'm just joking, of course, but hitting that subscribe button is an investment in your future, and being able to hit that bell button too, well, you are just going to be able to make every live stream, you lucky beaver. Thank you for Get Smart World Media Worldwide again. Here's a tip in the name of those who can't afford it. Pay me back on the moon. Heck yeah, we're all going to see you. Put your moon boots on. If you guys wanted to use the technical app that I use to analyze my stocks, that's WeBull. The link is in the description below and the pinned comment on this video in just a second. We are also going to keep pushing Bitcoin because crypto is the future. Go ahead and get your BlockFi link and $250 free Bitcoin off BlockFi. It would have been a good time to get it this past weekend, but Bitcoin is not all the way up yet. It could be on its way down soon. And as of right now, all I can say is I hope you have a great 3-hour break. Have a great day. Don't look at the charts too much, and we will cover market close in just 3 hours. All right. Hope you have a good day. And for now, but not for forever, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Meatball, you want to go for a walk?